Hi there listeners, Josh Robot here. I've hired some of the Meatbag podcast listeners to help me get this episode together, while RMC isn't around.
Three, two, one. Go Nintendo Podcast, Webisode 812. The
Rillaboom
Podcast. The Go Nintendo Podcast is a part of the Greenlit Podcast Network at greenlitpodcast.com.
Who's that Pokemon? It's Josh Robot.
Hey everyone, this is Mike Crodic here bringing you Pokemon number 812. Rillaboom, or in Japan, Gorilanda, is a grass-type Pokemon that evolves from Thwackey. By drumming, it taps into the power of its special tree stump. The roots of the stump follow its direction in battle. They're 6 feet and 11 inches tall and 198 pounds. They're both male and female. Their category is Drummer Pokemon, and the ability is Overgrow.
Oh my god. Is it just me, or would the name Drumkey or Bongorilla be a lot cooler?
RMC, I don't know what's going on, but I hope that you, Mumbrain, and everyone in your extended families are well. We're all thinking of you.
Okay, welcome to the Go Nintendo Podcast. That was a nice intro, I think, all those things together. So my name is Milk and Consoles on the website. Used to be known as Game Freak 613. And we're going to introduce each other, introduce ourselves and just kind of quick go around because RMC's not here this week to do the podcast and we wanted to keep going, keep the momentum going. So here's a FanCast. So next up.
Hello. You will know my name, probably, if you listen to the podcast, but you might not know my face. I am Anastasia Beaverhausen and I am on the podcast quite a lot because I like attention. So I'm going to pass it on over to the next person who is Nintendo, yes?
Yes, Nintendo. So I've been a long time consumer of Go Nintendo and the podcast since I was like 15 and I'm 30 now. So for half my life, Go Nintendo's been a part of my life. And it's just really exciting to be here and kind of pick up the reins temporarily, hopefully.
Yeah, and I'm Nicola Runia. I'm often on the Discord chat. I've been around for 5-6 years on Go Nintendo, and yeah, I hope this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, so and I see some questions in the chat. We have both YouTube and Discord chats up. Yeah, so we're keeping an eye on both. So this is normally where we talk about like generic topics, I guess. Somebody said they wanted to talk about McDonald's.
Yeah, so there's a McDonald's near me, but we don't have Uber Eats because it's quite a small area I'm from.
Okay.
And so my friend wanted to order Uber Eats, and I can get it to my house, but it won't go to hers. So she ordered it to my house, and I thought she was just going to have like food for herself, but she ended up ordering food for her whole family. So then the Uber Eats driver turned up with like 6 bags of food and just like handed me them, and I was like, this isn't all for me, but like I'm not crazy. And then so she just came down, like she walked down the hill from her house, and I swear it's only like a 2-minute drive, so I don't know why she walked, but anyway, and then I handed everything over and I got a wrap. And then I opened the wrap and they'd packed it upside down, so everything had fallen out of it. So I'm not in a good mood at the minute because I had an empty wrap, but I'm finishing my Coke.
So you just had this happen. Okay. So I was like, I thought you were just telling a story. Okay. No, I mean, has anybody else ever like ordered a mass amount of McDonald's before? Because I've had one experience with that.
I've not. I was going to say only related to like Uber Eats. So down here where I live, I use DoorDash a lot and like pay for the DoorDash subscription. So I don't have to pay all the extra fees every time I use it because I use it way too often. But about 30% of the time, like the DoorDasher has no idea where I live. Like they just drive in circles around and around to the point where I'll often have to go outside of my apartment down to the street and be like, I'm right here. Please give me my food before it goes completely cold. So.
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I just remembered another McDonald's experience that was even worse. That was like terrible. Like I actually nearly cried. I bought McDonald's. It was like there's a McDonald's in a train station, and it was on the way back from where I was going. So I bought the McDonald's, chucked it in my bag, and then walked back to my flat. And I hadn't closed my bag, so the full bag of McDonald's fell out somewhere along the line, or someone must have stolen it. So then I got home and I didn't have anything. So then I reordered everything that I'd ordered on like Uber Eats or Deliveroo or something, and then had it delivered. Because I was so upset. It was actually really upsetting. To be honest, I was more angry at myself. But.
Giant Reggie in the Discord says, sounds like these guys have a bad rap.
Yes.
So,
have you ever found weird food like abroad at McDonald's?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if this is a dream or if I actually saw it. When I went to Brazil, they were selling tortellini at McDonald's. And I don't know if this is a true memory or if this is just a dream.
That sounds
I remember
interesting.
it.
I bet you that's because I've been to in Canada, in Montreal. They sell they sell like why can't I remember the name? It's like fries and gravy and like mayonnaise and stuff. Shoot, why can't I remember it? Poutine, yes, they sell poutine in McDonald's, and I'm sure
that seems to be the common refrain about like McDonald's in the United States. Just generally don't have as good as food as other parts of the world. Like in Japan and Europe and Canada, like they have all these incredible cuisines. Like same thing even with like KFC. KFC is huge in a lot of other parts of the world. But here we just have the cheapest, fastest fast food, and it's really unfortunate. Yeah.
Fluffernutter in the Discord chat says, I would go to McDonald's far more if they had tortellini. And apparently Mice and God says they do have spaghetti in Canada. So or he says they use
Mickey D's McSpaghettis
in Canada. Yes. And then
spaghetti.
So I mean I know that RMC always talks about that one McDonald's near him that has like a really good reputation, or was that a different fast food? I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe that's
I know that Mom Brain.
Maybe that's the one good McDonald's.
Mom Brain really. Sorry. No, Mom Brain really likes the apple pie, right?
Oh,
that's
crazy for it.
I think she said that.
But she hates the toffee.
Yes, I remember that. I remember that from a recent podcast. She likes to get the McDonald's apple pie and then go and get a different coffee, and it's like the perfect little breakfast snack.
Yeah.
We got Willis in the YouTube chat saying, "I'm an expert in podcast law, and just so you know, if you use this, you can use this opportunity to decide random things are sandwiches or soup that will set binding legal precedents for RMC in the game."
Hot dogs are sandwiches.
No, hot dogs are not sandwiches.
Yes.
No,
Why not?
We're not going to get a consensus on this. They're not sandwiches.
Okay.
Hot dogs are a separate entity.
I mean, I could see it going either way depending on how the hot dog is on the plate.
Well, you know what's better than like is hot dog sandwich is a Pop-Tart ravioli.
I was about to say, I do agree with the statement that a Pop-Tart is a ravioli because it is a type of pastry with another thing pressed inside of it. Ergo, Pop-Tarts are ravioli.
But then if you go by that, then is a donut ravioli, like a jelly donut?
I think that a jelly donut is not, only because it hasn't been crimped on the sides. Doesn't ravioli have to be crimped?
But you have to boil them. You have to boil ravioli. You don't boil Pop-Tart.
You boil a donut.
And you don't have to boil ravioli, though, do you? Like, can't you just like cook them in the oven sometimes?
Hold on.
I don't know how to cook ravioli, clearly.
You do.
Yeah, I think a
Well, how
qualifier
would you eat
for
them? Do
pasta
you
has
fry
to
them?
be the boiling process.
Yeah.
I like my ravioli all crunchy. You just put the raw noodles into the oven and just burn the heck out of it.
Okay. I don't know. You haven't convinced me that a Pop-Tart is a ravioli. I think a Pop-Tart is the Pop-Tart.
You know what I saw someone make? I saw someone make a pot noodle sandwich, and that really upset me.
I mean, I'd try it.
And then someone did it on TikTok, and then someone commented underneath, do this, but add crisps and crunch the crisps up, or chips. Crunch the chips up, and it's amazing. I'm like,
I know at one point, some fast food chain was, I think it was actually, I don't remember. I think it was someplace in New York, but they were making burgers, but instead of having a burger bun, it was 2 glazed donuts. And that actually sounded really good because then you get the sweet and savory together. Yeah.
Yeah. Giant Reggie in the chat says he's imagining the Pop-Tart disintegrating in boiling water now.
Pop-Tart soup.
I do agree
Lasagna
with.
pasta cake.
I agree with Mason Gods. Yeah, lasagna is pasta cake. But if you have if you've got 2 lasagnas, right, and you put one lasagna on top of the other lasagna, how many lasagnas have you got?
One.
No, but there's still 2 lasagnas.
Yeah, but lasagna is layered anyway, so you've increased your layers.
But are they specific layers in each lasagna? Like, is there a top, middle, bottom? So then you would just have like 2 stacks of different layers?
I've never made a lasagna.
It's like, okay, I've got like a brand new lasagna, right? I've made a homemade lasagna, put all my heart and soul into it. And then I got a frozen microwave lasagna and put that on top.
It's still, if you serve it that way on one plate at one time, it's one lasagna.
Even if it was, even if it's frozen microwave lasagna,
it wasn't.
even if that lasagna is still frozen.
Well, if it's still frozen, then it's not prepared, and then you have 2 lasagnas.
Yeah.
I just don't like the idea of 2 separate lasagnas that are composed differently being stacked on top of each other to eat. Like a bite of homemade with a bite of frozen together just sounds like the worst kind of lasagna in the world.
So Giant Reggie, not to derail a little bit, but Giant Reggie says there's a heart attack burger from the New York State Fair, which I've actually had. I've been to the New York State Fair. And
that looks delicious.
Yeah, he says, Nintendo, pretty sure you're right, that heart attack burger can be had from the New York State Fair.
So good. I mean, I'm from Texas. The State Fair of Texas, we deep fry literally everything, so I'm ready for it.
We do that a lot in the New York State Fair too, I know. So like, you know, like you probably deep fry more, but we definitely have a lot of that. It's the novelty at the time. You probably just do it all the time.
No, that is true. That is true.
Yeah. So
Scotland is known for deep fried Mars bars, but I've never had one before.
Yeah.
It sounds like it would kill you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It would incapacitate you for a bit.
So what the weirdest thing that you've seen fried in Texas? Nintendo.
The weirdest thing I've seen fried?
Yeah.
I mean, you can get a child. No. I mean, you can get stuff like fried ice cream and stuff. I mean, I'm really bad at answering things off the top of my head, which is not ideal for a podcast. But pretty much every year at the State Fair, there's some new crazy food concoction. And obviously, I haven't been in the last couple of years. Primarily 2020, I think it was canceled. But yeah, you can get all sorts of like fried candy bars, you know, fried things. I really, really like fried Oreos. Fried Oreos are very, very good. Like, it's not the craziest thing in the world, but I think it might be the tastiest thing in the world.
You know what's not good fried, in my opinion? Ice cream. Fried ice cream, deep fried.
It just kind of dissolves.
It dissolves, and the delicious fried part gets really cold and hard and like kind of stale very quickly almost. Stale is probably not the right word, but like that's kind of like what I feel like it tastes like. Like unless you're eating it literally faster than you possibly can, faster than you should be able to, because you know you get like brain freeze.
Yeah.
Deep fried ice cream. Don't go for that.
I agree. I mean, and like I feel. Okay.
Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, like, I actually had funnel cake for the first time in my life, like 4 or 5 years ago. Because growing up, we just didn't go to the state fair a whole lot. And then when I was an adult, I just didn't feel a reason to. But man, funnel cake is good. I feel like fried ice cream is like maybe trying to be funnel cake adjacent, but it just doesn't really hit that mark.
Yeah.
But would you cover the ice cream in breadcrumbs, or you would just dip the ice cream
You dip the ice cream in.
oil? How does that work? Does it fry?
It
I think
does
it's
somehow.
pretty. Yeah,
Maybe
I think they
put
must
something
use.
on it,
I don't
but
know.
that when it comes out, it's like a shell of
Yeah.
friedness, and you just take a spoon.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Think of like a chocolate shell of ice cream, like chocolate shell on top of ice cream, but like deep
Yeah.
fried instead.
Rocky just reminded me about deep fried pizza. Those are really good.
Anyway,
Okay.
Yes,
about
good food combo. Very, very classic pod.
yeah, it's very classic pop.
Yeah.
Let's fry.
Next up, hang on, let's see what's top stories are next. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, just a second. Let me get that jingle loaded up here.
Thanks, Mom Brain.
You could hear Mom Brain in there. You're welcome. Okay. So the first top story. It's coming from. So we just so listeners who might be listening to this afterwards are not part of the Discord understand what's happening here. We have a bunch of top stories. Some of them are fan submitted, community submitted. Recordings of themselves talking about the top stories of the week. So I'm going to try to read the person that did it and hopefully not butcher their names and play their clip so they can listen. So you can hear them talk about the story. Then we'll skip in and read the top comment and maybe talk about it if we want to, and then move on. So first up, we have Steve Irwin, rest in peace. I have to make sure I queue up the right one, so hang on. Here we go. So it's Nintendo's president says it's important to respect fan memories when creating content for Nintendo's characters. So here we go.
I've never had to do anything like this before, so I'll do my best to not mess this up. And I hope my weird British accent doesn't throw you all off. Okay, so... As we all know, there are often some lengthy waits between the release of Nintendo's first-party titles, which means that people often think they should step up the production of things and be more aggressive with their IP. But our glorious president, Shintaro Furukawa, says that it isn't as simple as cranking out more games to meet demand. He recently discussed this subject with Japanese newspaper Nikkei, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. And he had this to say: "We must keep in mind that the origins of the characters are in the games. These are characters that fans have grown attached to through countless hours of playtime. We must develop those characters in a way that won't destroy fans' memories of the characters in their worlds. We always proceed with caution as to not damage the value of the brand. If we want to increase sales in the short term, there are other ways to do so. It's more of a question of what can we do to keep Nintendo a beloved brand in the long run. That's the debate we often have internally, and something I think carefully about as I make decisions. There's always a risk of destroying the Nintendo brand, which we spent over 30 years building." I thought this was pretty interesting. It's not something I've ever thought about before, that it's someone's job to sit there and decide how a brand is perceived by the public. And I wouldn't like to have that job, especially for an enormous brand like Nintendo. Any decision you make, will have such a knock-on effect throughout the brand and the products. And not only that you're handling, as Furukawa said, you're handling 30 years worth of other people's work that is held in such high regard. I wouldn't want to be the one making the decisions there.
Okay, so that was let's see, Steve Irwin, rest in peace. So RIP. And yeah, I wouldn't want to necessarily make those decisions either. But the top rated comment for this story is, "And yet they have no problem destroying Paper Mario."
I feel like that's Paper Mario is kind of an avoided topic on the podcast, really, because it's not really. I feel like everything that surrounds that is so negative that it's just not something that even fits with the podcast's energy. It's so strange.
Yeah. Not to bring up too much negativity, but like I've definitely not been a fan of where Paper Mario has gone. But I'm glad for the people who like it.
That's a very fair statement.
First two.
Yeah.
That's my.
Well,
Hasn't the latest one? Hasn't the latest one? Oh no.
Sorry, I keep talking. Go.
No, hasn't the latest one brought the community a bit more together? What's Origami King?
Yeah, I think go ahead.
No, I was just saying one word.
Oh, ish. Yeah. I think the latest one has done a better job. It's going in the better, a more satisfying direction for a majority of the community. I don't know if it's universally loved. I wouldn't necessarily say that, but it's made the right steps, some right steps in the right direction. I think for the people that are like me that like the first two games.
I feel like with Paper Mario Origami King, like everything about it is correct except for the battle system. I feel like that's where it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, particularly with the lack of experience points, because you don't really have a super compelling reason to engage in a battle, especially once you hit a certain point in the game when you're like, I already have all these coins. I don't need to go into another battle because I'm just going to buy these power-ups with the coins I already have. So the game almost de-incentivizes you to play it. So then you're just playing purely for the story. And if you don't like the story, there's no reason to play it. Thankfully, the story is good and the characters are good, but I think that's where a lot of the grit around the fan base is coming from.
Yeah, that's where I think that's where the quote unquote weaknesses are there. And Nintendo, I can really appreciate how they always try to do something new sometimes. It just feels like the Paper Mario series has kind of been lost for a while. Yeah.
And I come from it from a weird perspective as well, because I didn't play the original games first. I played Super Paper Mario first. So I played the one on the Wii. So that's what I knew Paper Mario as. And I actually went back to play, what's the second, 1,000 Year Door?
Yeah.
And I didn't like it. I gave up.
That's interesting. That's a really interesting perspective.
Yeah. And it just goes to show you, like people who are introduced to the series maybe after the first two would maybe have, as legitimate fans be, like happy with the new stuff. And so that's,
and the important thing to remember is that Origami King is the best selling in the whole franchise. So Nintendo doesn't really have an incentive to go backwards if they continue to make a well-made selling franchise.
I just wonder how well the other one, 1,000 Year Door, would sell if they just remade it.
If they re-release it, yeah, for sure. I completely agree.
It's one of the hardest ones to get. So
yeah, I mean they're doing all the Mario and Luigi games, so they could potentially.
I mean, but fingers crossed.
Yeah,
fingers crossed.
Hoping for it. So I think that's a good place to kind of leave that one. Next up on our top stories. Do you want to introduce this one, or can I just keep going?
Okay, I'll go. So next up, top story is from Rockier, and it is about PopCap discussing the challenges they've had bringing the Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville game to the Switch.
All right, here we go.
So my first few attempts, I seem to have failed to press the record button. I just want that to go settle in there. That's good. Yes, it's all good here. So this is Rock here, as you would know me on the GoNintendo website comment section, rambling on the Discord, where I occasionally talk rubbish here and there. But the top story that I'm talking about is PopCap discusses the challenges of bringing Plants vs. Zombies Battle for the Neighborhood and the Frostbite engine to the Switch. They talk about the fact that they originally started back in 2019 with 2 to 3 frames a second slideshow, but they optimized the engine, built it properly for the Switch. Now they got 30 frames per second. All the visuals are there. It looks exactly like the game. I'm sure there's people who will pause frames every now and then and explain how, look at that pixel there is slightly different to that pixel over there on the PS4, therefore it should be burned in a fiery ash. But hopefully it's all good, and we'll all be happy with future Frostbite engine games. If that's your kind of thing, you know, you get a Madden game on the Switch or whatever, the Smeg, you know, all these good things. I'm mostly just garbling gibberish. It's painfully English. It must be absolutely ridiculous. I'm gonna finish up my rambling now, and good luck to the rest of the people doing the things and the podcast as we're piecing it together by whatever the heck we can find and all that.
I don't know if that was too quiet or not.
I think it was okay. I put it up. I got it on my phone and I could hear it. Okay.
All right, hang on. I got to turn.
Yeah, likewise. I had it pulled up on my phone. It was a little bit quiet, but it wasn't too bad.
All right, good. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't completely lose him. But yeah, good job. So, top comment. Do you want to do that?
Sorry, I've like you crashed for a minute for me there, so I think I might be having problems. Top comment is from Kendrick Lamario, and they said, "Can't for the life of me understand why EA haven't opened the floodgates on PopCap games on Switch. Would love to get Peggle on there." That's a good point actually. Is Plants vs Zombies on Switch? Because I feel like that would probably sell well.
I think they just announced it.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that was like the sequel though, right? Like it's not the original, it's a new version of the game.
Oh, is it?
Is it this one that the article was about is like a battle royale sort of thing? I mean like that.
Oh, like the actual real game. I don't know if they're
It should be an action game, right?
Okay. Yeah, I had a friend like tell me about it, Plants vs Zombies specifically, when it was back on the Xbox Series X, or not Series X, Xbox One X, and he was saying, "Oh yeah, that's a good game. I like playing that." And I'm like, "Yep, it's not on Switch, so I'm not going to play it because I don't have an Xbox." But he kept saying, "Oh, I wish you could play this. I wish you could play this." And I don't know, maybe if this one's good, maybe I'll pick it up and play it with him. But
yeah, the original game is like really, really good actually. I've played through it like quite a lot. It's just one of those games that it's just nice to come back to sometimes. It's one of those like shut off your brain sort of games.
Comfort game, yeah.
yeah.
So that's a strategy game, right? The original one.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's kind of like tower defense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original game was definitely like tower defense type genre. I really liked that genre. So.
But EA has started to release some games now, right? The Apex Legends coming out.
Yeah, EA's
because in the beginning it was like, oh yes, we are going to support this platform, right? For the first 2 years, 3 years, but what came out?
I'm gonna say finally.
Yeah, there's like nothing.
Yeah, EA seems to be starting to support with more games, especially the last Nintendo Direct. I think there were several EA titles in there. So they're definitely
this Splatoon thingy, the what's it called? The dodgeball Splatoon game.
That new dodgeball
right?
game. Or that new like, game that was like Splatoon, but like dodgeball and like
and like the developers have spent like 4 years developing the game, and I'm just really curious if there's actually going to be an audience for it. Like that's just not my style of game, so I don't really know if that's going to be as big as what they want it to be.
Yeah, my only hesitation is the free to play aspect. I'm worried that there might be microtransactions, but we'll have to see. So, I don't have much else to say about PopCap in this part, so I think we can move on.
Agreed. Yeah, I feel like they got really big with Plants vs Zombies, but I can't really think of anything else that they've got that are like huge.
PopCap or EA?
PopCap.
Yeah. Because I think doesn't PopCap, aren't they owned by EA?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Peggle, and that's what Kendrick Lamar did in the comment. Peggle.
I would love a Peggle on Switch, to be honest.
Peggle,
I don't know Peggle.
The thing about Peggle, the only thing that I know about Peggle is that it's really good at reinforcing positive feedback. Or it's just like, remember, it's always like, you have the ball bounce down, like, like, wow, great job. A rainbow goes across the screen. You did amazing.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to play it just to see how ridiculous it gets.
It's really good. Does PopCap also do that one where it's the orbs that are spinning in a circle and you have to eliminate like 3 or 4 of the same color to make the line go all the way back? What's that called?
I don't know.
And it's like an Aztec theme type thing.
Is it Zumo? I can only think of the word Zumo, but
I think it's like Zuma.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it's like it's like sort of like balloons where they all like move towards the center, but you have to shoot the same color thing.
And if they get in the center, then the game is over. I don't know if they do that. I feel like they did, and I do think it's called Zuma or something. Maybe the Discord chat.
I'm gonna look
knows.
it up. Okay. I feel like I played that on like Facebook.
We just have more to say.
Oh yeah. It's PopCap was one of those companies I really enjoyed. The Plants vs. Zombies was probably like the most popular thing they ever made that I was interested in.
Oh, for sure.
Game. Did you find it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, it is. It's Zuma.
Zuma, Z-U-M-A? Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nico.
You can get it on Steam apparently. It's from 2003.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Cool. And what did that release on? Or did
everything basically.
Isn't it an arcade game too?
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw it at arcades, I think.
That's cool.
Yeah, it says Android, Microsoft Windows, iOS, Mac, Xbox 360, mobile. Dojo. What's a Dojo? A PlayStation 3. Yeah, it's on lots. And I'm sure I played it on Facebook.
Oh cool. Yeah, I'm sure you did. Like it's everywhere. PopCaps, that's the thing. Their games are ubiquitous. They're just everywhere.
Yep, for sure. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to the next story. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury pars up Tetris 99. I think I read that the right way. This is gonna be done by, I hope I do this right, E17 Pet or E17 PET. So here we go.
Hello there, this is E17 Pet from the GoNintendo podcast Discord, and for our next top story we've got the next Tetris 99 Maximus Cup has been revealed, and this time around the theme is Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, and the fun starts on March the 4th 2021 and it runs all the way through until March the 8th, so by the time you are listening to this it is almost ended. But basically, all you need is a Nintendo Online members subscription, and you can play online. You participate in the online matches. You have to earn 100 points, and then you unlock the theme, and then it's free to keep. And it features background art, music, and Tetramino designs inspired by Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. So I've not really played Tetris 99 much recently, but it's always good to see the new themes pop up. So I'll probably jump in and try and get those 100 points before tomorrow. And before that expires, and I'll claim that theme, as I'm a big fan of Super Mario 3D World. So also just want to give a huge shout out to RMC and all of the crew. I hope everything's well. I hope you're all safe, and we're all looking forward to seeing you back here again very soon. Stay safe everyone, and we'll move on to the next top story.
Okay, and we're back. So there is no top comment for this or any comment really on this story, but I do want to say that Tetris 99 is like my go-to like game that I play when I want to just kill a few minutes and still like kind of relax, but also not relax.
Yeah.
It stresses me out too much.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like I can consistently place in the top like 20 or so. And the highest I think I've ever gotten is top 3, but I've never like actually came in first. But it's something like, when I'm playing games, I'm kind of sick of whatever I was playing, but I still want to play something. I'll pull up Tetris 99 just to play that for a few rounds. But
almost like a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
I've never actually played Tetris 99. It's just not a genre of game. Like Battle Royale across the board is just not my jam. I love Tetris. Like I play Tetris Effect on my PS4 pretty often for similar reasons. It's just a good kind of like mental reset to get you shifting gears into wherever you need to go. But I agree with what the commenter said, or the person that read it. PET or E17 Pet. Yeah. It's good that these new themes are coming out. It just kind of reinvigorates the fan base and gets them going back into the game. So anytime that kind of stuff can happen, I think it's great.
Yeah, and you know, given those new themes, I do have a couple of them collected for my favorite games. So it's definitely
nice.
Like, it works for me. To get back into the game a little bit.
So which is your go-to theme?
What's that?
Which is your go-to theme?
My go-to Animal Crossing, because I try to chill out. So like I listen to the Animal Crossing music and the Tetris blocks are falling down. So like it's a little juxtaposition there with like stress and comfort.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did you know you can play Tetris for free on Tetris.com?
Really?
No,
I don't have
just
Josh
thought I would
what is that? We've got a new bongo.
Yeah.
I've got.
And you can win. How much money is on the line? $1,000.
$5 and a packet of cigarettes.
It's free.
It's free. I got that one. There we go. Time to break out some of the soundboards. We got the Yoshi Woe. It's in there. But no. So back to Tetris though. I wanted to bring out. I wanted to bring up similarly. Nintendo's efforts with Mario Tennis Aces, keeping like tournaments for that going and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not exactly new content all the time, but they're bringing back the tournaments to like get different costumes and stuff. I'm not sure if they're just for costumes now or not, but I know that I recently revisited, speaking of going back and revisiting games and keeping things invigorated, I revisited Mario Tennis Aces recently, and that game is just so good. The gameplay is so solid. I wish the single player campaign was a bit more in depth with the story, but it was okay. And it's really just like, I want to play that game with more people. And for the record, it's not dead online. You can find players still playing it, but it's, you know, and so like, I guess it's working there too with keeping players coming back, but you know,
that's another game I need. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. That's another game that I need to revisit, because I did buy it when it first came out and I sunk quite a bit of time into it. But it's just, that really is like a multiplayer game. Like, you want to play with other people. At least that's how I played Mario Tennis growing up with like my siblings and my friends and stuff. So the single player experience is just not quite there. But maybe I should give online a try. Maybe, you know, go for some of these tournaments. I just remember having a lot of fun with it. I'm really curious if Nintendo is going to do like golf tournaments for Mario Golf that's coming out. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, I hope they do. Because honestly, when I play online Mario Tennis Aces, it's competitive, and that's actually like really nice. Like I don't know if you guys have ever played with siblings or anything, and like one's just clearly better than the other. You can get over that part and just, you know, play with people at your skill level when you're online, which is nice. But in terms of the story, have you guys ever played the Mario Tennis Game Boy Color game?
No, but I never heard that that's got a good story to it.
The story mode in that was perfect. It was, you know, you leveled up your various skills and like got stronger and stronger, both you and your doubles partner. You could choose which skills he got leveled up to. And by the end of the game, you're just like getting all these crazy shots in and like racing across the court with your speed. And the best part was that you could connect it to the N64 game, where you could upload your character from the N60 and your doubles partner from the Game Boy Color game to the N64 with the transfer pack. And while you played on the N64 cartridge, you would gain experience that could be transferred back to the Game Boy game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so it's not a commonly known thing as far as I'm aware, but like it was
I didn't
really
know that.
cool. The best part though about that is you can play against Mario and people in like the finals at the end of the game and in the Game Boy Color game. But when you hit that point, you think like, oh man, I beat Mario. And then like if you upload your character to the N64 cart, those characters still outclass your main character by like miles. And so you still have to kind of like grind a bit to get up to their, you can get up to their level, but it's like, that's like the real Masters in my opinion. So I loved doing that as a kid. But it's a little bit.
That's fascinating. That's what a deep game for a GBA version of Mario Tennis. I knew nothing about that, and I find that so fascinating. Like I love how Nintendo just continually tries to innovate with what a lot of people view as just like gimmicks, but it's actually like what you just explained is a very in-depth system for a single game. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and I would recommend it if you guys haven't played Mario Tennis on the Game Boy Color. It's actually deep and fun. Even in
so it kind of plays like an RPG, right?
What's that?
I guess it kind of plays like an RPG.
Yes, it plays like an RPG a lot. Yeah. But like there, of course, the tennis is action based. But in terms of your stats and everything, it's RPG based. I think there's like power, spin, speed.
So cool.
I can't remember the other stats, but there's at least 4 or 5 stats that you can level up and choose to level up with each level.
And you said Game Boy Color, but did you mean Game Boy Advance?
Nope, Game Boy Color.
Game Boy Color. Oh, wow.
Color. Yep. So it was a Game Boy Color only game though. So like it had to be
interesting.
So, we veered a little bit off of Tetris 99.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
another classic pod.
Yeah, you can see how easily it happens.
Really. Newfound respect for the podcast crew right now.
Yeah. So I'm gonna move on to our next top story.
Yes.
Yeah.
So our next story is from Mice and Gods, and I picked this game specifically because I've felt like someone was going to struggle to say it. So Blaster Master 03 comes to Switch on July 29th, 2021. That's from Mice and Gods.
Here we go.
Inti Creates this week released the trailer for their final installment of Blaster Master Zero with Blaster Master 03, the reimagining of their classic NES game Blaster Master. It's going to release July 29th for $14.99 on the Switch store. So download it then. Yeah. Looks like a good old classic NES retro style game. I played number 1. It was really fun. Number 3 seems great.
There we go. I've never played Blaster Master. Any games?
Nope. You got the name wrong. It's Blaster Master Zero.
I'm sorry, Blaster Master Zero. I was just shortening it.
That's why Anastasia did this in the first place, to get the name right.
Yeah, I understood the name. I just stopped early.
You have to say the full thing, or people will not know what you're talking about.
And you just say Mario Brothers 2, or just like Mario Brothers.
No. You can't do that, or we just won't know.
Okay.
You have to be specific. Okay.
So Blaster Master Zero, I have never played any of the Blaster Master Zero games. Have you guys?
Nope, I have not. I literally know nothing about them. Like, is it like a Mega Man X type kind of game, or is it totally different?
It's also top down, right?
Oh.
It's also top down, I think.
Yeah. See, I literally have no idea.
None of us have played it except for maybe Nico.
No, I tried the demo of the first one, I think.
Well, there we go.
Top comment was from Sokar. They just said, "Wow, didn't expect this to come soon. Buying it day one." And actually, a lot of the comments are saying that. Like, one of them is saying TMC 1983 said, "I just got the physical collector's edition of the first 2 games last week." So, like, it seems like it does have its fans.
And then Giant Reggie says in the Discord chat, "I played Blaster Master Zero, the first one, on the Switch because it was a launch game or close to it. I had fun with it, but it didn't draw me in enough to play the others." And it seems like that's kind of the consensus. I don't know.
Like it's worth a try, but
yeah,
maybe it's not everyone's cup of tea. So
yeah, I'm looking at the. I'm looking at the trailer, and it does look quite Mega Man-y in bits, but like Nico said, it does go into top down sometimes. I don't think it's not got a price on the article. It's not got a price in the video either, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. Have a good cup of tea, Willis. Willis is going to have some his tea. Large evening meal is Northern English for large evening meal. Okay, bye.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. And thank you again to all the comments in the Discord and the YouTube chat saying we're doing a great job so far. I appreciate it. It helps.
Trying our best.
Yeah.
Oh, here's something extra. This is the final game in the installment, so there you go.
Okay, they're not making another one after this. I guess.
Someone, Armored Frog in the chat says, like Metroid, but with a vehicle. So that sounds interesting.
Yeah. $14.99 apparently.
It's not too bad.
Nice.
Yeah.
So maybe go check it out.
Those are the same developers that made that game that looks like Mega Man's X, right? Like the Azure Striker Gunvolt.
It just look very similar.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the developer, to be honest.
But
I'm just getting like, I'm being terrible and I'm using an ad block, and this site is one of those sites that keep popping up saying pause your ads, ad block. So I'm like trying to read it, but it keeps popping up every 2 seconds.
I can't. I'm doing it live. All right.
Next one.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
SNES Online. Does the SNES Online have a Blaster Master game?
Maybe.
I think so. The first one, maybe.
There you go. You can check it out if you have Switch Online.
For free with an asterisk, as Lou would say. It's not really free, but it kind of is.
No additional cost.
No additional cost. There you go.
It's free. No additional cost. All right. Next up, we have Nintendo Monthly Rewind, February 2021. I'm not sure how to say this username. Surlink? I don't know if you guys have a correction on that, but Surlink.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm going to go with that. And I'm going to play it. Here we go.
So this month's Nintendo Rewind started off mentioning, this month we had the first Nintendo Direct since 2019. Ouch, I know. At least the drought is over. Anyways, in this Direct, they revealed Pyra and Mythra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, talked about Zelda Skyward Sword coming to the Nintendo Switch, mentioned Splatoon 3 and its teaser that was at the very end of the Direct. They also mentioned a few other caveats in the trailers, which were Star Wars Hunters, Knockout City from EA, and Fall Guys coming to Switch. The Pokemon presentation was also mentioned. They spoke about the new Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, and Shining Pearl, the remakes of the Diamond and Pearl games on DS. They also mentioned Pokemon Legends Arceus, the open world Pokemon game that's coming next year, which was revealed at the end of the Pokemon presentation. Then they went back around and covered Apex Legends coming to the Nintendo Switch, Crash 4, which is also coming, and then mentioned a featurette for Fire Emblem voice actors where they got together and did a conversation on the Nintendo Mobile YouTube channel, and finally talked about the Mario Kart Snow Tour updates. February gaming releases were also mentioned, and the highlights were Bravely Default 2, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection, Little Nightmares 2, Persona 5 Strikers, and Blue Fire. They ended mentioning the Nintendo Switch Online update for the NES and SNES editions to the service, and there was Doomsday Warrior, a 1993 SNES game. It's a versus Doomsday squad fighter. Psycho Dream, an action game for the Super Famicom that was never translated in English till now. Prehistoric Man, which is a caveman's quest to save his village. It's from 1996 for the SNES. And finally, Fire and Ice, which is a wizard that's just getting his start and trying to defend his island.
Okay. Yeah, that was a lot. There was a lot going on this past month. I don't know if there's anything.
Was that our first non-British contributor? I think it might have been.
I don't know.
I think you might be right.
Was it?
I wasn't paying that close of attention.
Same.
Sure, why not? Let's just say yes.
Yeah.
Congratulations on being the first. And if you weren't the first and somebody else was, congratulations to you instead. So.
Okay, sorry, I interrupted you there, and you were in the middle.
No, I was just saying there was a lot that went into that, and you know, if you guys want to pick and choose about things that you maybe wanted to talk about from the month, but the big ones for me were the Skyward Sword stuff and Pokemon. Skyward Sword, I did manage to get those Joy-Cons.
Same. I did too. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah. I went to a great length to get those Joy-Cons to make sure that I was alerted when they went up on Amazon. They sold out in less than 5 minutes. So
I got mine through GameStop, thankfully, and like I accidentally purchased them with like my old GameStop account that has a dead email attached to it. Like my browser just automatically signed me in regardless. So I was like, I got to get these now. And then I tried to circle back and like get a pair with my new email address so I can actually have all the tracking and stuff. Sold out. So now it's just like, all right, I gotta fingers crossed and wait and see because I have zero way of confirming this.
I just kept my eyes on Twitter.
I feel like they're going to be easier to find in Europe. Like I'm not really pressed.
Yeah.
I feel like I can take time to order them, thankfully. But at least in Italy, Zelda is not. It's more popular than in the past, but not as much as in the US, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that there's no limited time condition with these Joy-Cons, as far as I know. So I would just, I would think like, if you're not going to get them at launch, hopefully maybe a little bit after you'll be able to find a pair somewhere. But
yeah, like they certainly didn't say like, we're going to stop carrying these at the end of March, like so many other things, but this could only be like 1 or 2 waves of product and then they just don't make it anymore.
Yeah. Let's hope whoever wants one can get some.
Yes. Agreed.
Scalpers.
I wasn't too excited for the Joy-Cons. I feel like the most excited I've ever been in for a limited edition thing, and like everyone was trying to get it, so I knew it was going to be really hard to get. So like I queued up outside of the store and slept overnight to get the special edition of Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm sorry.
That's a good game to be
because I was like,
excited
Animal
for.
Crossing, yes. And then you said Amiibo Festival. And I was like, oh.
Was there a long line for that, Anastasia? Was there a long line for that?
No, I was the only one in the line.
Yeah.
that kind of tracks.
I mean, I hope you enjoy. I know that there's some good, fun mini games in there. It's just not what Animal Crossing fans wanted at the time, I don't think.
No, it's not. You know what? Actually, I did play it quite a lot, which was quite sad. But it was mainly just like I would play it as I was watching the TV just so I could unlock the new costumes for the characters, basically.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Gotcha.
One thing that jumped to mind on that is... Oh, sorry, Nico. I was gonna say, so what is this Nintendo Rewind thing? Was it just a massive press recap kind of thing?
Yeah, I think that's really what it was.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure that I didn't miss something. But the one thing that jumped out when I was listening to that was Mario Kart on the iPhone app, or just mobile app. It continues to get some really incredible content updates. And I really wish that we would see some of that from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the Switch. Because that game still sells super, super well. And the podcast crew has said more than once, there's no reason for Nintendo to release a Mario Kart 9 because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe continues to be a top seller month after month after month. And we're now 4 years into the Switch life cycle. So I would like to have seen some more DLC packs or light updates or anything like that. And it's just nothing because they don't have to do anything to get people to purchase the game. They're still buying the game.
Yeah.
But then why are they releasing Splatoon 3? Because they could actually just update Splatoon 2 and they're actually releasing Splatoon 3. That really weirded me out. It's the same with Mario Kart 9, right? I think they could actually release a Mario Kart 9 now after that news.
Especially if they use some content from the mobile app.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many cool characters and costumes. I would absolutely go back in and play Mario Kart if I could unlock new things. I think that's the other side of it is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe released with everything already unlocked from the previous game because they didn't want to make current owners of the Wii U version to rework for all that stuff. But it also was I don't have as much of a reason to play this as much because now I already have everything. So I would like to see some kind of DLC pack where you actually have to work for this stuff instead of just saying, here's $20, now give me all the content.
Yeah. I mean, I get the logic that they did that with the Wii U to deluxe version. It's just, it's kind of like you said, like, okay, well, now I have everything unlocked. What am I working towards, I guess, besides the first place in every cup again? Exactly. I really do like unlocking characters and carts and stuff throughout the game beyond just first place, you know, so.
And that's been something I've missed from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is there really isn't anything to unlock. The closest thing we've gotten to a character unlock was when they let people try to defeat and get Sephiroth a few days before the actual release. And I loved that. That was classic Smash Brothers right there. And I wish they would bring that kind of concept back instead of just give me money, I give you character.
Yeah, I will say there at least are the spirits. You can technically.
That is true. You can unlock the spirits. It's just not the same. At least not to me. It doesn't feel quite the same.
Yeah. Freddie Fro in the chat says, technically you did have to work for that $20 in the first place.
That is true. That is true, Freddie Fro.
So also a quick correction. Mice and Gods was Canadian, not British.
Sorry, it's my fault.
Yeah, no, it's okay. And one more correction. Inti Creates was not correction so much as addition. Inti Creates was the developer for Master Blaster 03. So there you go.
Got it.
Yeah, so more things that rewind real quick. Skyward Sword's also important to me, not just the Joy-Cons, because my girlfriend's been playing through the Legend of Zelda series from start to finish for the first time. And we are in the middle of Twilight Princess right now, HD on the Wii U, which is better than I remember. Not that it was a bad game. I never went back to replay it more than the first time, which usually I replay Zeldas here and there, but not Twilight Princess. But now that we know that Skyward Sword is coming out on the Switch, like, I know a lot of fans weren't necessarily clamoring to replay it, but like, I'm just like, perfect. Like, so it's
I love Skyward Sword. I'm very excited.
Yeah. So like, I'm excited to play that again and have her play it for the first time. And then we can finally reach Breath of the Wild. And then after Breath of the Wild, we can get onto Age of Calamity, etc. So that, as well as, I don't know if you guys had anything to say about that, but, or Skyward Sword or anything, but
go ahead, Nick. Oh, no, go ahead, Anastasia, go for it.
I've never played it before, so actually I'm interested in playing it. The only things I've heard about it are like very negative things about the controls, but also that it does have a good story. And I know
the story is great.
I know
compared to Breath of the Wild, especially.
I love the story.
I know Girahim from Hyrule Warriors, and I like him, so.
Yeah. So I will say about Skyward Sword controls, I'm in the camp that RMC is in, that I had zero issues with the controls. I thought they were super intuitive. I did not have a ton of syncing issues with the Wii Motion Plus. I mean, I found it an incredibly immersive experience, and it brought a lot of innovation to the table, and I loved it. And like, even people griping about how the overworld is so empty and you got to just fly around in vast nothingness, like, I thought it was amazing. Like, I'm flying around in this sky world and it was beautiful to look at. And I'm really, really excited to do that again with this HD version, where just everything looks a lot crisper and stuff. So I'm excited for you to play it, and I'm excited to replay it myself because I have not replayed Skyward Sword in years. Same thing with Twilight Princess. I replayed Twilight Princess a lot when I was younger. But as an adult, I have not gone back to that game yet. And I have it on my Wii U, just never got around to playing it back in the day. And I was hoping that we would get a Switch version so I could just play the Switch version. But I'm getting really close to the point where I'm like, I'm just going to play the Wii U version. Even if they announce the Switch version, like the second I finish that replay, I'll still buy it. But I really want to play it.
Yeah, I also didn't have any issues with motion controls or anything like that. I feel like this is just a personal like speculation, but I feel like the people who maybe had issues with motion controls with Skyward Sword maybe just weren't using enough finesse, or had improper like Wii sensor bar like setups, like where they were like pointing at the sun somehow, or like there was a bright sunspot on their wall. I don't know. That kind of thing can affect the experience.
Yeah.
But yeah,
just user error.
I never had an issue with the swordplay, like hardly at all, or any of the other features like that. In fact, I found it quite nice. I can respect people who want the button controls. I get it. But I think a lot of people maybe were just used to Wii Waggle and were expecting it going into this game and didn't get it.
I think that's a good point. I think that's a good point too. And then like Armored Frog brings up like they really want to know how well the button controls work for Skyward Sword HD, like particular with the right joystick controlling the movement of the sword. I agree, like, because you got to do something for the Switch Lite owners or for the handheld only owners. So I'm hoping that it works well and that it doesn't destroy Joy-Cons and or thumbs.
Yeah. Yeah. That's about all I have to say on that one. I don't know if you guys have anything.
Well, on the topic of like doing stuff specifically for Switch Lite owners, they already didn't do it for Mario Party, so it wouldn't be surprising if they did it again.
Yeah. I'm hoping Switch Lite owners can enjoy it. I mean, at the very worst, maybe they can get the Joy-Cons and they can get the Joy-Cons and play that way. No, but just for the record, there was no top story comment for that. But yeah, go ahead, Nico. I think you were going to say something.
No, yeah, I kind of expect the state to just get destroyed. I mean, you have to sword a lot. That's what you do in the game, right? It's just going to detach.
Yeah. I hope the button controls work well. We'll have to see.
Yeah, because if the button controls work well, then people won't. There's less reason for people to moan about the motion controls.
Yeah,
you know.
At that point, maybe all they'll complain about is, oh, it's just like all the other Zeldas, and I'm like, well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just personal taste.
Yeah, right.
But
so we had lots of Pokemon as well, and I'm actually not. I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan. I actually wasn't going to get Sword or Shield.
Yeah.
But it was my friend was getting it and he was like, can you get the other one? And then we can like trade.
Right.
So I was like, I got it and I played through it once and I don't know. I got kind of bored of that. But the Diamond and Pearl remakes looked really good, I feel.
Yes.
And so did the open world one.
Yeah.
I agree.
Go ahead.
No, so I agree with you pretty much across the board. I will say that when I bought Sword and Shield, when it first came out, I got Pokemon Sword and I sunk about 10 hours into the game and it just wasn't grabbing my attention enough. So I just got distracted and moved on to something else. But over quarantine, a couple months ago, it was like late last year, I think it was like October, November, I got like super into Pokemon again, and sunk like 70 hours into Pokemon Sword. And like I got the Pokemon Home app so I could transfer Pokemon Go Pokemon into my Sword game, and from my 3DS game, like all of my Pokemon party that I could transfer over from Sun or Moon, I had Moon, into this game and bought all the DLC, played through all the DLC. It's a very different type of Pokemon game from your traditional Pokemon game like Pearl and Diamond, but I don't really agree with all of the hate that Sword and Shield gets. And I think it's just because the Pokemon fan base at large are very whiny and demanding, and if they don't get exactly what they think they want, they're not going to be happy. And we're already seeing that happening again with the Diamond and Pearl remakes. They're going, oh, it doesn't look like Sword and Shield. And it's like, you hated Sword and Shield. You did not want that game. So why do you want these games to be that game you hated? So there's just no pleasing these fans.
I'm actually more excited for the Diamond and Pearl remakes than the Sword and Shield remakes. That is Sword and Shield.
Yeah,
because
and I totally get that.
It like Sword and Shield was supposed to be kind of realistic, but it wasn't, right? It felt really artificial, right? So I prefer something that is really toy-like, like these remakes. I don't need like big environments, really.
Yeah. I gotta say, like, I'm a big Pokemon fan. So I have like almost every Pokemon, if not every Pokemon game. But when it comes to Sword and Shield versus Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I look at Sword and Shield and I see forward advancement. You know, they felt like they had to break into that 3D space and really like do a 3D game that's not just top down or like stylized top down. And on top of that, they're not used to the amount of horsepower / graphical output. I feel like Game Freak maybe isn't used to that kind of like expansive project.
That's true.
And so it comes down to, you know, I think it was Sword and Shield wasn't necessarily as polished as I would like.
I agree with
but you know, they got to move forward somewhere and they got to give it a shot somewhere. When I look at Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, though, those remakes, oh, that feels good. Cause like, it feels like, every time they do a remake, every time they do a remake, it's where they get to apply their polish. Cause like the game's already made. All they got to do after that is add things they want to add, change things that maybe should have changed in the, you know, that they wanted to change, and then add that coat of polish and really bring things in. So,
but Milk and Consoles, I don't think that these remakes are being developed by Game Freak, though, right?
They are not.
Yeah, that's right.
But the head guy is at least I forget. What
yes, he is involved. I think the original director's involved with this remake.
Yes, and I will say previous remakes at least that was their polished thing, and it looks at least based on the trailer looks good too. So
I agree. I've heard. Oh, sorry, Nico, go for it.
No, they didn't have the Battle Frontier in the Gen 3 remakes, right? So you can say that they polished the games, but they could have polished the games and also added the Battle Frontier. Like, what's the excuse not to add it?
Well, and we still don't know everything about these remakes, so maybe that will come in a later announcement that, oh, actually, this is here. I really love the art style of these remakes, and I've heard a lot of people just unhappy about it. Like, not even from a top-down perspective. Like, they look like these little play school toys. And I'm like, it seems like a very intentional decision to make them look that way, though. And I think that art direction looks very good. Is it as polished as something like Link's Awakening remake? No, I don't think that it is. But Link's Awakening remake is also saddled with a ton of frame rate issues as you're moving from section to section. And hopefully we don't run into that with these remakes for Diamond and Pearl, because it's not as shiny and smooth as Link's Awakening remake is, but I love the art direction. I still think it looks solid, and I'm really excited to play a classic Pokemon game in 2021.
For sure, definitely. And it's just I like I said, the remakes are really just like the time for me to really go and dive into it. I know the Battle Frontier wasn't included in the Gen 3 remakes, but other than that, it was pretty polished in my opinion, and it was the most I had ever played Pokemon prior to that point, which is not, you know, like I've played like Pokemon from future games less than I've played than the Gen 3 remakes. So that kind of speaks to Gen 3 remakes is, you know, like quality in my opinion. But anyway, that's kind of all I wanted to talk about with that big rewind story.
To you guys? Yeah, we should move on maybe.
I've got one more question about Pokemon. Was Jinx in Sword and Shield?
I don't know.
Yes.
No.
Jinx is in the DLC.
Oh, okay.
In the DLC. Okay. Well, that means that the game didn't get good until the DLC.
No, Jinx was actually like one of the first Pokemon I ran into in the second DLC pack. I don't think that it's in the first DLC, but it's in the second one for sure.
Actually, I do remember seeing Jinx in the adverts. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Mime is in the base game, right? So the base game is somewhat good already, right? Mr. Mime is.
I don't remember.
But Mr. Rhyme,
that's the new Mr. Mime.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Rhyme, the ice version, he is also in the second DLC pack.
Cool.
Okay. It's in the base game.
I really like the ice version of Mr.
Is he in the base game? Is Mr. Rhyme in the base game? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. No, because it's so late. That's sorry. Like I went right from the base game into the DLC, so like that last leg just blurs in my head. But you are correct. That is true.
Yeah.
He was the one I loved like to is it Dynamax? I can't even remember what the word that they were using for it. Cause,
yeah.
Dynamax.
I like to Dynamax him the most just so I could watch him dance. Because he's like got some moves.
Oh yeah. I just want to read a funny comment on my YouTube channel. It's from Hate and Consoles, who is, he's one of my viewers. Says, "I'll stop being demanding when they meet my demands." So that's kind of Pokemon fans in a nutshell a little bit. It's like, so yeah, I think it's time to move on to the next story. So
sounds good. Oh no, we're moving on to more Pokemon, aren't we?
A little bit.
So
yeah.
We're gonna continue to talk about Pokemon then. So this is about the Pokemon Journeys series sneak peek trailer being released.
All right, here we go.
Fluffernutter here, bringing you this sweet Pokemon news. There's a new sneak peek trailer for Pokemon Journeys the series. Welcome back to Alola. The latest batch of episodes is now available on Netflix in the US. Alola trainers, join Ash and Go as they revisit some of Ash's favorite spots, meet old friends, and catch tons of Alolan Pokemon. Don't miss this sweet reunion in Part 4 of Pokemon Journeys, the series, now available on US Netflix.
Okay. Yeah, that was a great reading, Fluffernutter. So thank you.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Good voice.
I haven't watched the anime, so
Rocky snuck in there with the top comment because I think Nico posted in the Discord saying that there wasn't one yet, and it's about Mr. Mime again. So Rocky has said, "Mr. Mime sees you," or at least that's what comes to mind when I see Ash's blank stare. Lovely.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of the anime, but I want to get back into like some of the isn't there like one YouTube special or something that's like 4 episodes or so that I can't remember. It features like
Twilight Wings
or something. Yeah, I think I want to watch that, and I want to kind of like dip my toes back into the anime sometime soon. So with this,
I've put it on once or twice. In school, I think I mentioned in Discord that I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
And so like sometimes the kids have to eat in the classroom at the minute, so I just chuck stuff on Netflix, and they seem okay. The kids are into them, so
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that I want to get back into, but I've been kind of dropped off for a while. But this series is specifically on Netflix now, I guess. So
yeah, it said Netflix US. Yeah,
Netflix exclusive.
What I would like to know about it is Jinx in it?
I don't know.
Because if she's not, then it's not going to be good.
Okay, there you go. I'm gonna just keep moving forward though, because we've talked a lot about Pokemon.
I think that's fun.
All right, here we go. More Pokemon.
I don't think we've got any more Pokemon stories, so we should be fine from here.
All right. Next up is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Pyra and Mythra coverage live blog. It was the live blog, I guess, this week. So let's listen to Doom Eternal as he's
just in time. He thought he'd missed it.
Yeah, no, we talked about Pokemon for forever instead. Here we go.
Hello everyone, this is Doom Eternal here to bring you the next top story. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate creator Masahiro Sakurai has shared information regarding the latest downloadable fighter set, Pyra and Mythra. I won't do a full recap, but here's a few highlights from the presentation. Sakurai considered having Rex fight alongside Pyra and Mythra, but having Pyra and Mythra be able to switch between each other was already pushing the limits of the game. Pyra specializes in power, and Mythra specializes in speed. I hope I'm pronouncing them correctly. On the character select screen, a player can choose to start either as Pyra or Mythra by pressing the Y button. The down special move of both characters is Swap. This move allows Pyra and Mythra to switch freely between one another, and a slight invincibility is granted when either one uses the move. Pyra's final smash is Burning Sword, and Mythra's final smash is Sacred Arrow. Burning Sword is meant for KOs, while Sacred Arrow is meant for damage. Sakurai says he likes Pyra better. I wonder why. The Mii customs for this presentation are Monster Hunter equipment, Rathalos equipment, Feline and Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins, pretty cool. Sakurai reveals that he has official Pyra and Mythra figures for modeling and animation reference. He uses those to help model the in-game figures, but they would be pretty cool if the Amiibos looked like that too. Pyra and Mythra are already available alongside the new Mii customs. Thank you, everyone. I wish RMC, Mombrain, and all of the GoNintendo podcast crew all the best. Do meet Eternal out.
Okay, so Doom Meet Eternal. My apologies, not Doom Eternal. Although I know that's the way RMC says it.
First you can't say Blaster Master Zero. Now you can't say Do Meet Eternal. I mean...
It's a pun.
Yeah, there you go. Doom Meet Eternal. I see. Okay.
Yeah, it's a pun about, like, turning dewy meat.
Yeah.
Don't you get it?
Cooper Kid in the chat, Discord chat says, you guys are doing a really great job. Y'all need to up the belching, though. You got to get a really disgusting one for everyone. Unfortunately, I literally cannot burp on command. So it's like, I thought about that prior to us going live. I was like, I don't know if you guys can burp. But I can.
Oh, gee.
There you go.
Now it's a real podcast.
Now it's a real podcast.
There we go. All right, I'm done. I'm done.
There you go. Yeah, so Pyra, Mythra, am I reading the top comment on this? I think so.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
It's probably going to be something about them being booby ladies or something.
Xeno, here it is. It's from the Monocled Metroid. Great name. Xenoblade 2 is my favorite Switch game. The only way this presentation can disappoint me is if Deathmatch with Torna isn't among the new music. So I don't know if it is or not, but
I like the way Kirby looks. He looks very nice when he's, consumed them.
Also, I thought it was really interesting that Sakurai. Well, I thought it was really interesting that Sakurai pointed out that Kirby, when he inherits the abilities of any of the fighters, the Kirby version is actually a little bit stronger than the standard version of the real character, which he's like, I don't think too many people know about this. I'm like, I certainly didn't. Granted, I'm not in a super competitive fighting scene for Smash Bros. I'm sure that professionals definitely know that, but I found it very interesting.
Yeah, I play Smash every week with my friends on Wednesdays, and we didn't know that. I also... It wasn't exactly clear. Is that true for every character or just for Pyra and Mythra?
He said every character.
Yeah, I wish I had known that. But now I know. Have you guys, have any of you played with Pyra and Mythra yet?
I did a little bit this morning. As we were getting all this stuff pulled together for this podcast, I was like, I'll download the new update and give it a try. Really interesting character. I definitely like the heft of power that Pyra has. Her smash attacks are insane. Yeah. And Mythra is very fast. I don't think she's the fastest character in the game, but I also found her to feel kind of floaty, like in addition to being fast, kind of floaty. So I mostly played as Pyra, didn't play as Mythra too much, and I just ran through classic mode like one time. But interesting characters. I like the moveset. Like, yeah, it's another sword fighter, but it doesn't feel like the other sword fighters. So I think it has that going for it.
Yeah, the sword range, especially on Mythra's side smash, feels more like she's holding a club than a sword.
Yeah.
And I mean, for what I've played, I really enjoy Pyra more than Mythra too. That said, I see the utility of maybe sometimes switching to Mythra if I get like really skilled with her.
Agreed.
One thing I didn't try was her like ability to dodge and slow down time a little bit when you're like doing a midair dodge.
I forgot that was in there. Yeah, I didn't run into a scenario to use it.
Yeah, I forgot until like a couple days ago of all about it, and I was like, I should try that next week when I play with my friends because we had already played once. But it's Mythra definitely feels like I got to switch something up to like throw my opponent off, so I should switch to her. And Pyra feels like it's time to get some kills in. So
Pyra feels very powerful.
Yeah.
Even the up B, like the up special.
That's crazy good.
The one where she jumps, that's really powerful.
Yeah.
They're going to nerf her.
I can imagine that being a thing because her up B is especially punishing.
Yeah. Like it has almost the same kind of intensity as Ike's charged standard smash, like just really, really brutal stuff.
Yeah. And it comes out a lot faster. So it's like,
yeah.
And has more like ability to hit up vertically and down and even horizontally. It has some good spread. I wouldn't be surprised if they nerfed it a bit, but I mean, for now it feels fun.
Yeah. So
Mythra
is good to escape. Just if you don't want to be hit, it's good to be Mythra.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Actually, Game Freak 333 in the YouTube chat brings up a good point. Does Shulk's Kirby Monado styles have better ratios than Shulk's Monado styles in terms of like, is his beam better? That's a
I
good
don't
point.
know.
Probably.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's who knows, but go try it. Let me know.
Yeah.
Come back. Yeah, that's all I got to say really on Smash Brothers. But
so that was our last pre-recorded top story. So the rest of us are going to be from us. Sorry. I feel like we do have another recording later on though, so it's not the last you'll hear. You'll hear other people's voices, so we don't tire you out too much. I'm going to start very quickly. This is just a very quick one, actually. I thought I would just bring it up because Do Michaels has been talking about this game on the podcast quite a lot. Romance of the Three Kingdoms XIV, so I think that's 14.
XIV is 14.
Yes. So I just know that he's talked about the game a lot and that he's been playing a lot. So he's written a review on the GoNintendo website, so I'd recommend checking it out. The top comment on it is just saying, "Thanks for the review, Dew," from Guy Bones.
Nice.
So definitely worth a check out if you've got the time.
yeah, check that out. I haven't watched it, but I I probably will after this. So moving on, I guess, unless anybody has anything else to comment on that.
No, not really. So because I've shuffled them up at the end, I'll just let you know who's going when. So I've got Nintendo next with your.
Yeah. So let me pull it up
Just
here.
so you know, you gave us a beautiful recording, but yeah, you're going to do a lot.
No, we're good. Yeah, no, I it's all good. So this is technically not a GoNintendo story. It's as I could not find it on the site, but I feel like it's very relevant to the GoNintendo audience. There's a podcast called The Soundtrack Show. It is hosted by David W. Collins, who has worked at Lucas Games, like Lucasfilm Games. He does a lot of voice acting in various Star Wars properties and media, like as stormtroopers and stuff. And he has a very deep background in music. He even helped do the music, I believe, on especially the Star Wars, The Force Unleashed. I believe he was involved with that. Anyway, his podcast, The Soundtrack Show, has recently started a new 3-episode arc exclusively dedicated to The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I listened to this earlier this week, and he covers everything from the groundbreaking music design of the N64 with this game in particular. He talks about the themes and the technical compositional elements of the various pieces of music, and just does a really incredible job doing a deep dive across the board. He usually does movie soundtracks on this podcast, just as a general heads up. So if movies are your jam and you want to learn more about movie scores, you'd really like this one. But he broke the mold with an overview of Super Mario Brothers on the NES last year. And then a couple of weeks ago, he did The Legend of Zelda on NES. And now he's doing a deep dive that's a multi-episode deep dive into Ocarina of Time. So just wanted to give that a shout out. I think a lot of people would enjoy it. And my on live rambling is not as good as the pre-recorded message I did, but I just get really excited about this stuff. So that's all I had to say.
Hey, I got to say.
Yeah, no, it sounds really good. It sounds like it is like you said, even though it's not a GoNintendo story, it is really relevant to Nintendo. So
yeah, I'm going to give it a check. Yeah.
It's very good. He's a hilarious guy. He had originally started doing podcasting with a famous Star Wars podcast. I forget what it's called, but his particular series was called Star Wars Oxygen, and he would talk about specifically John Williams' musical scores across the entire Skywalker saga. And he ended up doing a lot of Star Wars specific recaps for the soundtrack show, as well as many other John Williams pieces. But he's finally dipping his way into Zelda, and given that it's the 35th anniversary, I felt it just very relevant to bring it up.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I've never heard of this podcast before, so I'm definitely going to check it out because I'm big into Zelda music in particular. So, like,
yeah,
that's piqued my interest.
Nintendo. You are celebrating Zelda's anniversary more than Nintendo is.
At this point, sure.
Yes.
But yeah, that's all I had for that.
All right, cool.
Thank you for sharing. So back to me again, because I've put myself in for 3 stories because, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, I just like the attention. So this story is about 2 Point Hospital, the Jumbo Edition coming out on Switch. And I included this one specifically because I love this game. Like, it's just such a, like, I feel like it's wrong to say this, but it feels like a perfect game. It's just so, like, I could go and restart it whenever we can, you know. And the Jumbo Edition is coming out. I think it might be getting a physical release, but I'm not exactly sure. Just with all the DLC, because it's still continuing to get DLC now. It came out like, I want to say 2018. Well, we're now 2021, and they're still getting like many bits and pieces of DLC. There was like one where you build up hospitals up in a snowy mountain, one where you build hospitals in Area 51, one in the jungle, one in like a super green loving city, and I can't remember what the next one is. But it is a really fun game, and it's just like, it's quite funny, and it's very British, I would say. Oh, that's what it is. It's a time traveling DLC. So they've got you like going back in time to build a hospital back in time, and then going into the future and stuff. Like, it's so weird, and it's like just one of those like quirky little games that I feel like just like everyone needs to play it. Even though it's like the concept of the game is that you just build a hospital. It's like, it's a lot more than that. It's like it's got a lot of humor behind it, and the songs and the music in it are actually really good. I've sent in 2 of the songs before. One of the songs is called Fish Whispers, and she just taught the singer's actually really good. I actually looked up her YouTube channel. I think she's Sophie Worsley, Fish Whispers, and the other one is I'm gonna forget it. Yeah, the radio adverts. Tanuki Tony just reminded me about the adverts. Like, that is one of the highlights of the games, because they're just, I don't know, it's so like quintessentially British humor. I just love it so much. I'm gonna have to go and look up the name of the other song.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, Tanuki Tony, just to add on to that, she says, I've been replaying 2 Point Hospital this weekend. I have a physical copy, but it's got the snowy DLC in it. So that's pretty cool. I like the idea of building a hospital in different settings and what that might require, especially the time travel one. That sounds interesting.
Yeah. So the other song is called Nice Smelling Face. That's a good one.
Face. Okay.
I think that's my favorite one. Like, what a nice compliment. Like, you got a nice smell.
That's very
like,
funny.
yeah, I'm just like, I could play it over and over again. It's just so good.
Well, the radio adverts.
So does it play
Go ahead.
Does it play similar to Sims?
Did you say The Sims?
The Sims, yeah.
No, it's
similar.
based on the old game called Theme Hospital, and like, I suppose it's plays similar in The Sims, that you're literally building it, but you don't control any of the characters or anything. It's more like a management sort of sim.
And you have objectives then?
Yeah. So different places you go to, which is how it becomes interesting, is that you're not just building a hospital. Sometimes you need to provide machines and stuff for specific illnesses. Like Tanuki Tony says, there's an illness called pandemic where people have got a pot stuck on their head, so you need to buy a pot machine.
I love it.
There was one in the eco one where they've turned into Pinocchio, so to help get them better, you have to feed them to a giant whale. and it's it's like stupid stuff like that, or like 8-bit where they've turned into an 8-bit character and you have to put them through like a DNA machine to get them fixed, and it's just really good. Yeah,
that's great.
I would really, really recommend it.
That's great. Yeah, I hadn't really heard of it much before this point, but you've kind of sold me on it because I love the idea of humor in games. So like it's very the pandemic alone, that comment who got me.
It's like good in the gameplay, and it's good in the comedy as well, which is why it really gets me. And it's good, like just how a bit weird it is, and it's not weird in the way that it's obnoxiously weird. It's still funny,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Is there a top comment on this, or?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No. And I've got Milk and Consoles in next.
All right, so pulling up my story. Mine's a fun one, guys. Nintendo is still set on removing Super Mario 35th anniversary content at the end of the month, and I will also add Fire Emblem content. Isn't that at the end of the month too? So there's a tweet that comes from Nintendo's official Japanese Twitter account, and it's there to remind consumers that Mario-themed content will be removed at the end of March 2021. Specifically, Super Mario Bros. 35 and Super Mario 3D All-Stars are slated to be removed on March 31st, 2021. So they announced this information when the games were first revealed, and they're sticking with that decision, it seems like. I'm guessing people don't like that news too much because it's got a -5 rating on the site.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense at all. It's just they're losing money by doing it, so it doesn't make sense from a business point of view. But I suppose if you want to play the remakes of all the 3D Mario games, you better get them now.
Yeah. First comment comes from Giant Reggie, who says, what if they take down all the 35th anniversary content and replace them with a 36th anniversary content? One more player to knock out in Super Mario Bros. 36. What innovation!
Now I see what's going on.
Yeah. There you go. Now they're just going to bring that back with 36. It's just going to be better.
My only hope with especially the All-Star collection is that we will get them broken out as individual purchases at some point. Like maybe this 35th anniversary was deliberately only for this, because they did something similar with the Wii, if you guys remember, where the Wii had their own All-Star collection and it was a very limited run thing. And once it sold out, you couldn't get it again. So maybe it's something like that. Maybe, we'll get ways to purchase in the future, but it is a bummer though. Big bummer.
Yeah, and I gotta say,
at least there's a way.
Go ahead.
Oh, at least there's a way to play those free games, right? But Super Mario Bros. 35, that's gone. There's no.
Oh
way
yeah,
to play
the online game. Yeah, that's vanishing.
That's a shame.
It is a shame. Like I never really got into that game. I loved RMC's video on it. It just seems like such a small thing to upkeep for Nintendo. Like you wouldn't think it would take too much effort on their part to leave it running. So I don't know. It's sad to see these kinds of things go away.
Mm-hmm. Especially like you said, like it's similar to the Wii one, but it makes sense that they would stop producing that. Well, it makes more sense that they would stop selling that because they literally have to produce it. But this is available digitally, so it doesn't make sense.
Right, I agree completely.
Yeah, it's
just a shame, I think.
And I think that's the biggest thing going all around. So I hope Nintendo kind of hears everyone saying like, man, and they're like, okay, but I gotta say, it worked on me. I bought the 35th anniversary physical edition. I bought the Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon. I got that for Christmas, the limited edition box set.
Did you buy the Game & Watch?
Yeah, I did not get the Game & Watch. That was the one thing I was like, no, it's too much. $50 is too much. I already have Super Mario 1. I don't need it on a special Game & Watch, but I want it. But I didn't. I came really close, but I didn't.
But it tells you the time.
Yeah. What's that? It tells me the time. Yeah, that's the thing. That was the thing that almost sold me. But I figured I'm not going to carry it around to tell me the time. I have a phone for that. So, but not to mention, I think it's Game Explain has a whole video on like every special thing that the clock does. So if I really want to look, I can see that.
So here's a question. out of the 3 games in the 3D All-Stars, which one do you guys prefer? 64. Or would you put them in order from like your favorite to least favorite?
Okay, we'll go around.
Do you want me to go first since I asked?
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't finish them all. I didn't finish 64 because I was just getting too annoyed by it, so I would put that on the bottom. And then Sunshine was quite frustrating as well, actually, and I didn't 100% Sunshine, but I finished it. I didn't even finish 64 though, and then I would put Galaxy on the top because I 100% completed that. And even, well, I mean, not technically 100% because I got to Luigi, but I did start playing it with Luigi, you know, and I was going to do it, but I just, you know, lost track.
Yeah. I'll go second. If I had to rank them, I'd put them in the order of 64 is my favorite, followed by Galaxy or Sunshine. Probably Galaxy and then Sunshine, only because as much as I played Sunshine more probably overall throughout the years. Galaxy I feel like is probably the better game. I'd like them all. That's where I'm at in terms of like ranking them. 3D Mario is never really like, I haven't beat 3D Mario's since 64. 64 I did beat. I didn't beat Galaxy. I didn't beat Sunshine. I didn't beat Galaxy 2. I don't even think I actually own Galaxy 2, even though a lot of people say that's the best one. And then I did play and beat Mario Odyssey. So that's like, that kind of got me back into 3D Mario again, was Odyssey. But I'll let other people rank theirs. Go ahead.
Yeah, so for me, I would say that Super Mario Galaxy number 1, and then 64 is the second, and then Sunshine third place in my book. I grew up with Sunshine, and I remember having very, very fond memories of playing Sunshine all the time.
Same.
But upon further reflection, it was simply because that game was so buggy and frustrating that I would just spend a lot of time playing through it, not because I particularly enjoyed it, but because I was trying to beat the game. And now as an adult with time commitments and lack of patience for that kind of stuff, I started playing Sunshine on the Switch and I just could not finish that game. Did not get very far into it at all. But I also played 64 as a kid all the time, and it was like hard coded into my DNA. Like I remembered every single nook and cranny of that game, despite not having played it in like over a decade. So it was super fun to get back into that and just go through. And I did not 100% Super Mario 64 on this playthrough, but I got pretty close to it. There's just a couple of areas that I just do not enjoy in that game. I'm like, I'm not going to put myself through the suffering just to get 100%. And then Galaxy is, in my opinion, the perfect 3D Mario game. I love that game. The music is incredible. The visuals are still amazing. And I actually spent a lot of my playthrough of Galaxy on the Switch in handheld mode, and it worked surprisingly well. Like using the touch screen to swipe up the star bits and stuff, really intuitive. And I wasn't expecting it to be that good. So I really enjoyed the Anniversary Collection. Do I wish that it had been a little beefier than it was? Yeah, but you get the core games that you know and love and sometimes hate, and it was a really fun time.
We're starting some fights in the chat.
I did buy the Anniversary Collection, but I haven't played it, actually. And I haven't played a lot of Galaxy. So I also have the original Galaxy, right? But I haven't played a lot of it. But my ranking would be first 64, second Galaxy, and third Sunshine. And actually, I feel like Sunshine has a lot of potential. But as you said, it's just too buggy. It's just too slippery. Like, I feel like I was punished so many times unfairly. Like, so many times I just fell into the void, right? And,
and like,
that was just very
I agree. And like, I feel like Bowser's Fury, like I don't want to jump ahead in the conversation, but I feel like Bowser's Fury shares a lot of DNA with Super Mario Sunshine in a lot of different ways. And so I would love to get a proper sequel to Super Mario Sunshine to see what Nintendo could do with the FLUDD component in a modern Mario designed game.
I was hoping that they would just fix the controls right in the re-release, but they didn't. It's the same game.
I thought. For Sunshine, I thought they updated the controls eventually, so that they were mimicked to the GameCube controller.
They did, yeah. They released an update.
Was for FLUDD, right?
Yeah.
Or for the camera.
For
but it's still slippery.
Everything should work.
Oh, I mean. Yeah, sorry, I don't mean to talk over. Like, the game is the same as it always was, but they did add the update to inverse the camera and then use a GameCube controller, so you have the telescopic trigger to control the firing power of the FLUDD.
Yeah, and that works the way I remember it, at least.
Same. It does.
So, but yeah. Yeah, so that's our rankings.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice little Mario discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So this is a final top story.
Okay.
And I just want you all to prepare yourselves. You know, get in your seats, saddle up. There's a hint.
Okay.
Hold your horses. There's another hint. Can you believe that? Oh, I've not even got the article open. That would help. Can you believe that on the 27th of May this year in 2021, the Switch is going to receive the game called Horse Club Adventures?
What?
Can you believe it?
The game is fun.
The Switch is too powerful now.
Yeah.
I can't get over it. It's like, let me read the description for you, and just you can close your eyes and go on a journey with me. Okay. A gripping adventure at the lakeside riding stable full of challenging mystery-solving fun, spirited gallop racing, and lots of other thrilling quests for horse and rider awaits horse fans both big and small. The popular horses from Schleich, that toy company, whatever, and the environment they live in come alive in the video game Horse Club Adventures. Children from the ages of 6 to 12, that's rude, can roam freely and creatively in this open world game. In turn, the electrifying story inspires imaginative playing with the characters. There are characters in this game. They are in a clique. You can become a part of the Horse Club clique with Sarah, Hannah, Sophia, and Lisa, and they've all got secrets. You can complete exciting quests and collect objects such as photos, and get this, stickers.
Oh wow, stickers.
Beautiful. That's the game of the year 2021 right there.
You know what? You just predicted the top comment there, Nintendo. It's from this amazing person called Anastasia Beaverhausen, and they have said, this will truly be my game of the year.
Beautiful.
They have good taste, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So like I said, it's going to be clopping onto Switch. That's another joke. Horse jokes for you. On May the 27th, 2021. I do not yet have confirmation whether or not Jinx is in the game yet, so we don't know if it's going to be good or bad.
So Anastasia...
But there are horses, and, oh, get this as well, long-lasting gaming fun virtually and physically, they're going to release the horses.
Jeez. Anastasia, I would like to say Kolma in the Discord chat is saying this game sounds like a load of horse shovel. So take that as you will.
That is rude.
I just wanted to incorporate shovel into the podcast nomenclature today.
Classic.
On May 27th, thank you for that.
Oh man,
Giant Reggie. So I will update you once I buy it and play through it all.
Maybe you could write a review.
In it actually, when it said children from the ages of 6 to 12, I feel like that's quite limiting.
You should write a review for GoNintendo when you play and finish that game.
Oh my god, that's.
Let us know if Jinx is in the game.
Yes, I will let you know if Jinx is in the game.
Yeah.
If Jinx, well, here's the thing: if Jinx isn't in the game when I'm playing it, I just draw a picture of it and stick it to the TV.
Oh God.
So that's like
Then becomes a 6 out of 9.
And it's not. I draw a new Jinx every single time I play it. So like my house is covered in pictures of Jinx.
Powerful.
Sounds like a beautiful house.
So
I don't know if it comes with horse armor DLC, but I will find that out and confirm it for you.
All right.
So that's top stories then, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's all.
Yeah.
Hooray, we made it. I can see why the show is so long every week.
Yeah, time check. We're almost at 4 p.m. Texas time.
Yeah, it's we've been going for 144 minutes so far. So here we go.
We've got our American and European releases set up to go. Who would like to go first?
Doesn't American usually go first?
Well, we can go American first then.
I just want a quick correct. I said 144 minutes. I meant 1 hour 44 minutes. All right,
I was about to say that's good.
Yeah, I don't know what time it lets us, right? So.
But yeah.
Okay, so Nintendo is going to give us our North American releases for the week of March the 4th.
We're going North American first?
Yeah, doesn't a North American on the podcast, isn't that usually first and then Nikki Sweet releases?
Yeah, I think so.
It doesn't really. You can go.
Okay, cool. We'll do North American. All right. So coming to the Nintendo eShop on Nintendo Switch for the week of March 4th is Sea of Solitude, the director's cut, Nausea, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it, Ace Strike, American Wild Hunting, Arcade Archives, Guerrilla War, Ayakashi, Romance Reborn Dawn, Chapter and Twilight Chapter. I guess that's all one thing. Counter Recon, the first mission. Doug Hates His Job. Same Doug. Dreaming Sarah, Duel on Board. Estranged, The Departure. Everhood, Give It Up, Bouncy. Into a Dream, Kill It with Fire. Mail Mole. My Coloring Book. Nina, Noble Armada, Lost Worlds. New Games Continued is not a game. I just read the bullet point. Pixel Game Maker Series Puzzle Pedestrians. Real Driving Sim. That's Real Driving Sim, not Real Driving Sim. Rockin' Racing Bundle Off Road and Rally. Ruiniverse. I don't like the way that's spelled.
Yeah, Ruiniverse. That's horrible.
Yeah.
That's a bad name.
That's awful. Okay, Spooky Chase, Sticky Monsters. That's a name. That's a name.
I wonder why they're sticky.
They're monsters. They're probably covered in goo. Like they just eat all sorts of gross stuff. Super Met Boy, not to be confused with Super Meat Boy. I feel like they're aping that name. And then Task Force Delta Afghanistan. And then there is a DLC, Wield the Power of the Aegis in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate with Pyra and Mythra, and then all the other stuff that comes with it. So that is your North American releases for the week of March 4th.
Hooray!
Thank you very much. And there's a lovely GIF in the Discord chat if you want to look at that.
Let me check it out.
Suggesting what the sticky thing might be.
I wish I didn't open it. I wish I didn't open that.
I guess that's what monsters
Thank you for that, Rock.
right?
God.
That's pretty gross. You're missing out if you're not in the Discord.
It's glue. It's not. It's a PVA glue.
Of course.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Don't be disgusting.
Next up are the European ones.
Not a fan of that.
So European releases, and we've got Nico Darunia.
All right, real quick, I got...
Do you have the jingle?
I have an intro, hang on.
What are the next European masterpieces with Nico Darunia's sweet releases?
Yeah, and hang on, I got one more that somebody else sent in, so I want to play them both. Hang on.
What are the next European masterpieces? It's time for Nico Darunia's Species Spicy releases.
Species Spicy. All right.
I'm going to try and
go ahead.
I'm going to try and channel the Nikki Hill energy, right? I hope the hat will give me some of... Yeah.
Go for it.
Harvest. Moon 1 World. Monster. Gem Steel. Titans 2. Sea of Solitude. The Director's Cut. Free Out. Of 10. Season 1. We have many games, though. So, 8 gliders.
That's gonna...
These are
Yeah,
really
if you
long
want to
ones.
take
You're
a
going
break
to hate
after
me by the
half,
end of
you
it. Yeah.
I'm going to be mom brain. I'm going to go get a drink of water.
Go for
What? America Wild Hunting, Arcade Archives Legend of Makai, Ayakashi, Romance Reborn Dawn, Chapter, and Twilight Chapter, Cave Bed, Counter Recon The First Mission, Dad hates his job. That's Dreaming Sarah, Duel on Board, Estranged The Departure, Everhood, Faircroft's Antiques, Treasures of, Treffenberg Collector's Edition, New Games Continued. I think I'm going through this last column, like the second column, and then that's it. Otherwise, it's torture.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Forestry, Dissimulation, Give It Up, Bouncy. Then we have Nausea, Gravifier, Chancellor's Chew, Into a Dream, Kill It with Fire, Late Bed Camp, Virtual, Late Motosu, Male Mole, Mexican Train Dominoes Gold, Multi-Quiz, Nina, Off-Road Driving Simulator, 4x4 Trucks and SUV Trophy, Paco Caravan, Pancake Bar Tycoon, and Pixel Game Maker Series, Puzzle Pedestrians.
Thank you very much.
Great job, Nico.
Good job.
Bravo.
And then in the
We've
chat,
got a
Giant
comment
Reggie.
from Giant Reggie. Never mind a Sea of Solitude. This harvest of releases is a certified love lot. Never a hood. I give it only a 3 out of 10. Lovely.
Thank you for that, Giant Reggie.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
We needed the brutal pun. That was very good.
All right.
Okay, so next we've got what has everyone been playing? Now, I need to do something quickly, so I'm going to ask Milk and Consoles first. What have you been playing?
Okay, so lately, I told you I've been, my girlfriend and I have been playing through the Zelda series. So Twilight Princess HD has been on my TV a whole lot. But I've also played through Link's Awakening recently. I played through that one because she got me that for Christmas or my birthday, one or the other. They're really close to each other. So I played through that. I beat that just a couple weeks ago. So hooray, me. And I've also been playing through Hollow Knight. That's what I've been playing through.
Yes.
So I've never played Hollow Knight. I'm like I feel like a few bosses into it, like a few
so freaking good.
So like 4 or 5 of those. I don't know exactly. It's fun so far. I really like the mechanics where you like equip abilities. I love games like that. That's why I like Paper Mario, the first 2, and like Kingdom Hearts, where you have like abilities where you can just like equip, unequip, and like you have a certain amount of points you can put on them. Love those kinds of mechanics.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I've been playing.
Man, yeah, Hollow Knight is so good. I played that last month. I think I played it in February. It's crazy, maybe end of January. Sunk like 40 or 50 hours into it, and I loved it, every single second of it. So I'm very excited to see what you think of it the further you get into it.
I mean, so far so good. My girlfriend, when we play it, she always is like, okay, can you play that game that she always forgets the name. She says some other 2 words that start with H and K. And then I just really want to see that aesthetic. It's really beautiful. I'm like, it is really beautiful.
It really is.
And so,
the music is great too.
So far we've really enjoyed pushing through and finding like new worlds, and like it's just really like, I love like how like lush everything feels in certain places and barren in others, and like the art style really communicates like what it wants you to feel, I feel like. So it's good.
Very much agreed. Glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and say what I've been playing this week. So primarily this week, it was all about Super Mario 3D World. So I played through and finished pretty much all the levels in that. I think I'm done with all of them. I still need to get a handful of green stars here and there, but I'm like at the point where the ones that I'm missing are incredibly difficult to get. So I don't know if I'll actually try to 100% it or just call it quits, because I did like the final boss rush mode and then like nothing happened after that. So I think I'm done until I get the green stars, but I'm not sure. And then I just finished over this weekend playing Bowser's Fury, which I really, really, really liked. It took me a couple hours, like not a couple hours, but it took me about an hour to get the hang of it, because like some of the way the world works was confusing. It's not super explained, and so you just kind of got to fumble around and figure it out. But once you get it, then I really had a good time with it. And I've gotten most of the cat shines at this point. I think I only have like 4 left, period. So, and the 4 that are left, they're all the same kind of event, and I don't like that. So I probably won't finish that either. So, but I've really enjoyed the new Mario game and looking forward to see whatever Nintendo does next with Mario.
I have a question about Bowser's Fury. You said that it has a similar energy to Sunshine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why so?
I mean, obviously the short answer is that it has Bowser Jr. in it, and he's following you along, and there's that paint mechanic to a certain extent. Water is a really big element of this game as well, just because you're going from island to island. And I don't know, it just gave me Sunshine vibes overall. Like, even though the Piantas and stuff aren't there, it just feels very bright and very cheerful and very Mario sunshiny. And like, if they had just slapped on the flood mechanic into this game, I think it would have sold perfectly as Sunshine 2. Like, it just has that vibe to it. And I would love to see that actually happen. But everybody has talked about how Bowser's Fury is like treading new ground for Mario as a franchise, and I totally get that now after playing through it and pretty much being done with it. And I'm really curious to see what they do after Odyssey and now Bowser's Fury. Like, what's the next 3D Mario going to be? That's what I want to know.
For sure.
Yeah, that's cool. So, Nico, what have you been up to?
Oh, I've been playing a lot of Smash Brothers, actually. I just go through periods of one game for like 2 weeks and then another game for 2 weeks. Now it's just Smash Brothers, practicing with Mewtwo a lot. Been playing with Mythra and Pyra, but I don't know, not really convinced by them. Other than that, I've been playing some Petros. That's just something that I like to go back to now and then, just very relaxing. I've been playing some Tetris 99 to get the latest theme, and yeah, that's pretty much it, I think.
Yeah.
What about you, Anastasia?
So I've been playing. I've not really had much time this week because I've been super busy, but I have played a bit of The Sims because they released a new expansion pack sort of variant, because they've got expansions which are at the top and the most expensive, and have the most content. Then they've got what's under that? A game pack, which is about half of an expansion. Then they've got a stuff pack, which is about half of a game pack. I'm getting confused now. Now they've got kits. So they released 3 kits, and one of them is driving me insane because it's like a vacuum kit, and so your house will get dusty, but it gets so dusty it's insane. And you get like dust bunnies, like actual little bunnies made out of dust, and they like take over your house. So the pack is basically unusable because you have to basically hoover every day. And I don't know about anyone else, but I don't have the energy personally to break out the hoover every day, so I don't expect my Sims to be doing it either. Then I've been playing a lot of Bloons Tower Defense because that's sort of my go-to if I'm watching the TV and just want something pretty easy to do. And I've been watching that quite a lot. I don't know what it is. I feel like I've just seen lots of people streaming it recently that I watch. So it's just kind of had a resurgence. And then I have also been playing 3D World. And I've got a bit of a story to go along with it. So I mentioned a few weeks back that I had gone on a date with this person. Well, it's kind of like unofficial thing now. And they've also been playing 3D World, but they are also like 100%ing it. Yeah. And to do that, it's all green stars. Yep. All gold poles, and play every single level 5 times with once for each character.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It comes up, their stamps show up. So once you get past a certain point in the game, you'll go past the flags, and if you've completed a level with a character, their stamp will show up on the flag. So there's levels that I've done it naturally just because I've gone back to them. Right. But you have to play through the whole game another 4 times. So if you played it through as Mario the whole time, you have to play it through another 4 times every single level. It's crazy.
I'm good.
But he's doing it, so I'm like, oh well. I'm not that committed, and I'm about 57 stars into cat shines into Bowser's Fury, and I don't know whether I'm going to 100% it or not, because the little pieces, how you have to collect 5 to get a full
little one. Cat tokens.
They really irritate me, and I don't have the time for it.
Yeah, they're weirdly placed too. I get that. But yeah, I'm currently sitting at 96 cat shines, so I'm almost done with it.
Yeah. Yeah, if I was at the point where I'm 96, I would definitely finish it. But 50.
I mean, the last parts are just they have to do with the what's it called, Nessie or whatever. It's specific racing courses with that, and they're just very, very frustrating because you have to jump onto the land in some parts, and you can't really control yourself when you're on the land. So I just don't know what the route is. I can't figure it out. So I'm just I have to put this down for now.
Yeah, Canadian Rambles.
There's 100. So there's at 50, then an event happens in the game, and then you get to go after 50 more.
Mm-hmm. Canadian Rambo asked if you play on co-op, does it count as you've completed it for each character? And actually, I was thinking about that as well, because that would make sense that they've done it so that you would replay it with a group of people, maybe, because there are 5 characters. So even if you did play it with Mario all the way through, you could then pick the other 4 characters and then only have to play it through one more time, maybe. But I don't know, actually. Yeah. I've enjoyed playing it through again, but I'm not going to play it another 4 times.
No, definitely not.
The most I ever went to complete a game was when I played Gen 3 of Pokemon. The remakes. I got a Living Dex. So.
Wow.
I got the Living Dex at the time of the Gen 3 remakes, and I haven't kept up since.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
There were almost 700 at the time, I think, right?
Yeah, it was like
600,
724 or something like that. I don't know.
Wow.
It was, but I got a living space going there. That was a. Turns out a lot of people want Corsola, so I just bred a whole bunch of Corsola and I did some trades, that way, saying like, I need this Pokemon, I'll give you a Corsola. Other ones I just bred myself or caught myself, but like,
They also wanted a lot of cast form, apparently, right? Am I wrong?
Probably. I mean, I figured
heard
Corsola
that.
wasn't exactly easy to come by in the game sometimes. Like, I think there was a way to do it, but it was like a 5% chance. So a lot of people would just trade for it. So
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've definitely, I think I've 100%ed Super Paper Mario, like I mentioned that earlier. But I can't really think of another game that I've like fully 100% completed. I definitely have, but I just can't think of them off the top of my head.
Yeah.
That's
I
funny.
kept the living decks in Pokemon Home, or rather Pokemon Bank, and then brought it over to Pokemon Home. So I at least had it in the most recent game, although I don't have the newest stuff. So
yeah, I like that they've done that and made you able to keep them for so long. It is really cool.
Yes, I am thankful for that. Yeah.
Oh, I've got one perfect 100% game on Steam. Oh, that's what it is. It was a SpongeBob remake. I 100%ed that game. So that actually doesn't really need that much for 100%. So
I will say also, I technically 100%ed Hollow Knight. I think I finished it at 102%, but that game technically goes up to 112%. So if you were to actually bring that down, I did not 100% that game. But
100%
it
says complete.
Complete. Yeah, exactly. I 100% of it. I did not complete, but that game gets way too brutal in the end. So I will never be able to finish that game.
Yeah, I think.
How many hours did it take?
Huh?
Team, how many hours did it take to?
It took me like 40.
adventure?
Took me like 45 hours to finish Hollow Knight the way that I finished, because I did go out and get a lot of the collectibles and stuff. But there just comes a point in the game, there's literally an area called the Path of Pain, and it's just brutal boss fight after brutal boss fight.
Nice. Ex-Canadian Rambo X in the Discord chat says, do you have a complete shiny dex? No, I don't, but maybe someday.
I have caught one shiny.
Really?
And you'll never guess what it was.
Jinx.
No.
Oh, you owe me a soda.
Oh, no. That's worthless.
It was a bloody...
It's not Jinx.
It was the one that turns into the moth. What's that one? One of the worms or caterpillar things.
I'll think of it. Hang on. It's
I think it might be
Caterpie turns into Butterfree.
Yeah, I know. I get those mixed up. It turns into like the shell thingy for the after. That's the only shine I've ever caught.
Venonat. Venonat turns into Venomoth.
Or are you talking about like Dustox the moth? Because that's like
that might be it.
Wormhole.
Because I thought it was going to turn into a Butterfree, and I was excited, and then it didn't.
Or Burmy, yeah.
The shiny one.
Anyway.
Yes, it's Dustox, because I remember it turns into like Cascoon. Wormpole, that's what it was.
Wormpole, yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, I caught a shiny Wormpole, and I thought I was going to get... no, that's what it was. Wormpole, it can evolve into either Beautifly or Dustox, and mine evolved into Dustox.
Got it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So are we ready to...
I actually have a sad story where it's just speaking about shinies.
Yeah.
So in Pokemon Emerald, there was a way to duplicate Pokemon, right?
Yep, I did that all the time as a kid.
Yeah. And I actually caught a shiny Swablu. So it's yellow, it's like golden, right? So I got like a golden Altaria. And I wanted to duplicate, right? But in the algorithm, right, instead of doing like step A, like step B after step A, I did them the other way around.
Oh, no.
So instead of getting one extra Altaria, I destroyed my Altaria.
Oh,
so,
no.
yeah.
Oh,
So it's gone.
No, I remember I went to a Pokemon event where they were giving out a legendary Pokemon, and I had Emerald and my sisters had Ruby and Sapphire respectively. And so I was duplicating like the rare Pokemon that I had left and right, and then kids would just come up and they would say, "Oh, I need this Pokemon, I need this Pokemon." So I was just turning into a Pokemon farm at Toys R Us waiting for this legendary Pokemon event. It was great. I was one of my best Pokemon memories.
Funny. That's funny.
Crazy. Do you think Romy is going to hate this podcast because we talked about Pokemon so much?
We should continue on, I think, to the questions.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
Questions.
Yeah. I was going to say we should maybe try to... if there's a lot of questions, we might have to try to curb some of that, but yeah.
Yeah, no worries. So I posted the link again. The questions are not at GoNintendo, whatever the email is. They are just on our lovely Jamboard. So I am going to start off with the Patreon question. And I didn't choose a Patreon question, actually. It was sent to me. I can't remember. Was it Giant Reggie, maybe? I don't know, actually. I can't remember. If it wasn't you, Giant Reggie, sorry. Anyway, the Patreon question this week comes from Nico Darunia. And the question is, who do you think is the best Jedi and why?
I will let you answer.
Oh, you can join the Patreon
for $1.
There we go.
Thank you, Billy.
Thank you, Freddy Fro.
So,
okay.
Who do you think is the best Jedi and why? I have an interesting answer, I think.
Go for it.
Okay.
Does Baby Yoda count yet?
Grogu.
Grogu.
I would say that Grogu would be more of a Padawan and less of a Jedi.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case,
a youngling.
Yoda for me.
I would say for my answer, the best Jedi is Qui-Gon Jinn.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good answer. I think I would follow you.
Say Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
The Force is strong with this one.
Okay, the non-serious answer is Kia the Mo. Like his two big brains, and I just like him. But I think I would go with Qui-Gon Jinn, actually.
Yeah,
like he understood before all other Jedi what was wrong.
And without Qui-Gon Jinn, Force Ghost would not be a thing. Force Ghost started with Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't know much about Star Wars, so.
Yeah, you know, it's one I was into it more when I was younger, and then like around Christmas, maybe a year or two ago, I sat down and I was like, I'm going to watch them all, and then I got to like 7, and then I stopped because I just got bored. Okay, thank you for the question, Nico. Here is one from Shillelagh. With the latest rumors about the Switch Pro this week, when do you think it will launch? What other features and improvements should it have? I feel like it could probably not be far off. Oh, thank you, Giant Reggie. Guy Bones was the one who shared the Patreon question. So I don't know. I feel like, how long was the turnaround when the Switch got announced? It was only like a few months, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember the exact time frame, but
I feel like
it was like within 6 months. I don't remember.
So the Switch was announced in October, I think, early October, and then it came out the 3rd of March. So that's what? 5 months.
Like 5 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not too long.
And same with the Switch Lite, right?
Yeah. Potentially.
Do you guys think do you think the Switch Pro would come out like holiday this year, or would they push that out to like, Q2 or Q1 of 2022? I know the rumor says this year, but I don't know if they would do it this year.
I don't know. Practically, if they could manage.
I think that holiday 20.
Go ahead.
Holiday 2022 would be too late.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That's like almost 6 years.
Yeah, if it's going to come out soon, it's either going to come out this holiday or Q1 next year.
I would
like next spring.
And I think they're going to want those holiday sales. So that's just my speculation. But
yeah.
And like in terms of like features and improvements, I think generally they should probably improve on the Joy-Cons and like obviously all the issues it's having with frame rates and stuff playing certain games. I can't really think of anything like too like crazy that they could add on.
I mean, and like the rumor already says, you know, an improved screen quality and a larger screen. OLED. Both of those I've wanted because I play handheld mode most of the time. So if the actual Switch itself has a better screen and faster processing power, so it doesn't stutter as much, I'll be a happy person.
Yeah, and I suppose just a bigger screen and sort of bigger screen and like improved graphics is kind of like consistent with how they've gone previously. Like if you think they've gone DS to DSi, I think that was bigger than like 2DS, 3DS, all that sort of thing. Then 3DS XL, it is it would make sense. Oh wait, thank you for that question. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say that they cannot really change the size of the Switch itself because the Joy-Con will have to fit even the new Switch, right? But there is like this edge. That's like an edge, right? Without screen.
Yeah,
so they can't
the bezel. That bezel will scale up to 7 inches. So
So form factor, they won't need new Joy-Cons or anything like that. We'll just get smaller bezels.
Can I say what my one feature that I want for the Switch Pro is?
Yeah.
I want Street Pass to come back.
Oh yeah,
I know it's not like a pro feature for most people, but like
but it was fun. It was
Street Pass was dope. I also want Bluetooth headphone support.
Yeah, that would be nice.
No. Freddie Fro would like it to have a small nipple on it, like the 3DS.
Like the 3DS.
So I think you've got something there. I think you should email Nintendo. Maybe like Doug Bowser might
be into that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Since limited edition with nipple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tanuki Tony says, I love and miss Street Pass. I think you're not alone.
Yeah. It was just like a fun little add-on.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that question, Shillelagh. So we'll go quick Nick through the next ones because I don't want to miss out anyone because actually they are quite good questions. Got any go-to gaming snacks? Now, for snacks, actually, I don't really have any go-to, but I got these vegan marshmallows because I'm a vegetarian. I'm not a very good vegetarian, but anyway. And they are so much like normal marshmallows. It's crazy. And I haven't had marshmallows in like 8 years and they were my favorite thing. And so I bought one bag in my shopping the other week. And then this week I bought like 3 bags. They're like this big and they're absolutely amazing.
Nice.
Well, they're from Asda, Tanuki Tony, if you want to get them.
Okay. I like milk a lot. Chocolate milk. Good chocolate milk while you're playing a game is really fun. That and like... See, it's tough because you got to get if it's a go-to gaming snack, you want to get a gaming snack that's not going to get on your hands and get on the controller. So like that's why I go for the drinks first. But if I had to pick a food, pizza.
Yeah,
it's not really a snack, but
I don't really snack when I game. Yeah. Like I just don't. Like if I'm gonna eat, I will do something else while I'm eating and then get back to gaming. That's just me though.
Same.
I hope Nico says like roast beef or something. Like roast
I think I go with Jaffa cakes, but actually I have some Jaffa cakes here. But you said, Anastasia, that these are fake.
They are fake. They're not real. They're not real Jaffa cakes. Because they're not
because
branded.
They're from the wrong. But those are Wars. What's the company? What's that brand?
I don't know.
The original brand. I don't like those. They're too spongy.
Jaffa cakes.
I don't like them. I tried them.
So is it? Oh, it's
McVitie's. No, McVitie's.
Yeah.
No, I don't like them. I like the little ones. Those are better. The chocolate is better.
Well, okay. How do you, when you eat the Jaffa cakes, how do you eat them?
First, I eat the border, I think.
Right. So you chew around all the outside.
Around the edge.
Okay, you're wrong. That's not how you're supposed to eat them. You're supposed to take all the chocolate off, then take the little jelly bit off and eat the sponge and then eat the jelly bit. It's like an Oreo. You have to like pull it apart.
I feel like that's not correct.
Like crunch right through it. Of course, you gotta dip it in milk, but...
Yeah.
So real quick from the chat, Rakia says crisps. And ex-Canadian Rambo X says, I'm a pretty big fan of eating escargot while I game.
Lovely. Yeah, I forgot that Tunnoc's tea cakes are vegetarian. Those are really good.
Yeah.
Those are the bloody Malomars that they keep talking about on the chat. Okay, thank you for the question. Oh, did I say who that was from? Sorry, it was from Gecko Kitsune.
Nice.
Outlaws is asking, what gaming song do you associate with a happy memory? And I'm going to start with Milk and Consoles for this one. What video game song do you associate with a good memory?
I would have to say probably, I mean, anything from Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, but probably specifically the Temple of Time. When I was a kid and I was first playing through it, I was playing with my brother. He would watch a lot of the time, and my younger brother. And at one point he was like, I would get home from school first, and he would be like, don't play the game without me because I want to watch you play. And I just, it was a really sweet moment. And I just, that always, whenever I hear that music, I think of those times when I was playing through the first time with my brother. So it's a good, happy memory there.
Do you think Nintendo?
For me, I think it would be the Super Mario World overworld theme, like in the first world, I guess. I think the music is the same in a lot of those levels, but just that dum bum ba da da bum ba dum bum 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 bum. That song to me is like the peak, the pinnacle of Mario music in so many different ways.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I just love that. I love that game. I love that music.
Sure.
Nico?
I don't have a specific game. I have a console actually. I have there are many Game Boy Color games with really good music, and I associate playing on my Game Boy Color while maybe flying to a holiday destination, just going on holiday, and yeah.
Cool. I would say it's not really music for me, but the intro for Abe's Odyssey, I really love that. It's chirping crickets and stuff. It's just weird noises. Because me and my sister is similar situation to what you were saying, Milk and Consoles. Me and my sister used to play that game all the time, and it's probably not a game that kids should be playing because it's about being hunted by factories so you can be turned into meat and slave labor and but we used to call it the fart game because you can make him fart. And then we used to just because we didn't know how to play it properly, we just used to kill all the poor Mudokons. We used to just do it on purpose, and we used to howl with laughter when they died, and that is horrific, and I can't believe it. That's what I spent most of my childhood doing, watching the Sligs shoot the Mudokon friends. I would stand somewhere, say hello, so that the other Mudokon would say hello back, and then watch them get shot.
Nice. Nice.
I feel like that says a lot about me. Maybe that explains the kind of person I am.
Sure.
But yeah, it's really it's just stuck in my head. It's drilled in, that little chirping sound. It's just really, drilled in there. Cool. So thank you for that question, Outlaws. Giant Reggie asks, do you get better presents from Santa if you leave Milk and Consoles instead of Milk and Cookies?
Yes.
Now, I don't know if it means actual Milk and Consoles or if we should all be expected to leave a human.
I think it means the human.
Yes.
Yeah.
Either way, yes.
Yeah.
Now, do we all? Do you have to just come around? Do you have to come around to all of our houses, or can you just chop off different pieces of your body and send them to us in the mail?
I mean, I think both would work, but I'd prefer one over the other.
That's fair.
Yeah, the chopping one. Yeah, I would prefer that one.
It's more convenient, right? Takes less space.
Yeah. Probably saves on postage.
Yeah.
Depending on the size.
Yeah. Thank you for the question, Giant Reggie. Oh, someone's asking, is a Hot Pocket something? Oh dear. Okay, here's one from Charlie. and I think this is Rockia, I want to say, but I'm not exactly sure, so don't. Oh no, someone did tell me their name is Charlie. I can't remember who it is. Anyway, you have to choose between being able to fart or burp for the rest of your life. The option you don't pick, you're never going to be able to do it again. But the one that you pick becomes you are able to do the most amazing farts or burp in the world. Which one do you pick?
Farts.
Fart.
Because I've already gone this long without being able to burp on command, so.
You can blackmail people, is that what you said, Nico?
No, you can blackmail people with farts. I mean, burps don't really matter, right? I mean, at least mine. With farts, I mean, you can manipulate your.
If I'm the best in the world, I can start playing music.
Well, get this. I've never been sick from a fart, but in primary school, someone burped in my face and I puked.
There you go.
So.
Yeah, I would say I don't want to burp. I would say let's take burping out of the equation.
Yeah, I feel like burping seems like ruder. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
If you're the best, that's the other thing. If you're the best in the world at it, after you pick, you probably have good self-control. So like you won't have to worry about it coming up in a unpleasant setting. Yeah. And if you do have it in a normal, like a setting where it's maybe not appropriate, being the best in the world could be handy.
Yeah.
Because then you could just be like, well, it's just my talent. Sorry.
Beautiful.
Giant Reggie's just said that it was Steve Irwin, rest in peace, who is Charlie, and I did know that. Thank you for letting me know. And Gratimus asked, but do you want to fart or burp in public? Well, like silent farts would be.
Yeah, silent farts would be
those
fine.
Could be fun. Yeah.
Or honestly, depending on how public and like how traveled the street is, I might just let one go anyway and just let people be impressed as I walk by.
Yeah. Thank you for the question, Steve Irwin, rest in peace. And final question: is a Hot Pocket a sandwich from Grantimus?
No. Categorically not.
So we don't have Hot Pockets. Is it like a pizza? Is it a pizza pocket or something? What is it?
Yeah, you could call it a calzone.
Yeah, but a calzone is not a sandwich.
Yeah, you're right.
No.
Like,
sorry, there's no room for debate on this.
I like a hot dog.
No, it's a ravioli.
No, but like you could make a sandwich by folding over a single piece of bread, though. So is it like that?
No, it's not, because it's sealed.
You gotta have the crimping.
Okay, then it's sealed, so it's not a sandwich, but it is ravioli.
Yeah, I mean, a Hot Pocket is basically like a ravioli, but it's not boiled, so therefore it's not ravioli. But yeah, it's crimped sides, and so it's not like
it's almost like.
I mean, this also brings up the question though: is an Uncrustable a sandwich? And I would say technically not, because it's sealed.
Yeah.
But if you cut a Hot Pocket in two, then it becomes a sandwich.
I know, but like the edges are still sealed up, though. I wouldn't consider an Uncrustable a sandwich. An Uncrustable.
I don't know what it is.
Oh, sorry. So an Uncrustable is basically, yes, that's what an Uncrustable is. That's not a sandwich.
But what if you cut it open like that?
You'd have to also open up the sides, though. You'd have to cut around all the sides to open it up to be two separate pieces of bread.
Okay.
Yeah, so there is a way to make a Hot Pocket a sandwich.
Yes.
Yeah, if you cut open all of the sides, and then you're just going to have this
big... Cease no longer being a Hot Pocket, yes.
Saucy mess.
Super Blastic says an Uncrustable is a peanut butter and jelly ravioli.
That's fair.
Unboiled.
If Canadian Rambo said, imagine I slit my Hot Pocket to make it a sandwich.
It's a horrible visual. It's a horrible visual.
Oh, for God's sake.
That's a good question to go out on.
Helps them cool down, yeah.
So then, is a Pop-Tart an Uncrustable? Or is an Uncrustable a ravioli as a Pop-Tart ravioli? What else are we talking about? A Hot Pocket. Is a Hot Pocket a savory Pop-Tart?
I would say no, because kind of.
Kind of, yeah. Pop-Tarts, I think.
I was about to say that. I was like, it has to be a jelly. I'm like, no. There's plenty of other flavors of Pop-Tart. So yeah, yeah.
So then, technically, if you cut a Pop-Tart in half, then is that a sandwich?
Yes. Well, right. It has to be in half. It has to be in half horizontally.
Yeah,
like across, like to separate the two sides. Yeah. Then it would be a sandwich.
Okay, I think we need to stop because I think we're all just
for sure
wild. If I think of another
We are
one,
at 2 hours.
It's also so is this the end of the segments?
Yeah,
we've got messages for podcast crew.
Yes.
So I'll read out some of these. So we've got a few messages in the the jam board. So I'll read those out first. And if you want to leave any other messages in the Discord chat or in the YouTube chat, feel free. We can read those out as well. Basically, we just wanted to give you a chance to say something to the official podcast crew because we're only here for today, hopefully. Anyway, so first one comes from Gecko Kitsune. He says, happy and thankful for everyone involved to be able to come together to show our support and love to our favourite podcast crew. Wishing everyone the best, good vibes. Thank you very much, Gecko Kitsune. So this is from Tanuki Tony and Chico Warrior. To the hardest working in the entirety of game journalism. Hope you're well and take as long as you need. You've nourished an amazing and loving community that I couldn't be more proud of. Take care. Lots of love from Tanuki Tony and Chico Warrior. And I would agree with that as well. I think we all know how really hardworking RMC and everyone who is involved in the podcast is, but especially RMC. Next one I've got is from Akamu, who says, thank you for all your hard work over the years, for entertaining all of us and fitting the podcast into your real life schedules. You all make me laugh more than you will ever know. Thinking of each and every one of you right now. This one is from Outlaws. I've been listening to the podcast for 15 years and hope to be listening for 15 more. Hope to hear from the crew again soon and sending my love and warm wishes. Grantimus says, just thanks for everything. Kept it simple and short. And last one here from Shillelagh. I hope you're feeling better soon, RMC. Take all the time you need and we'll see you when you get back. Thanks for running the best Nintendo site around. So let's see. Yep, that's what all we've got just now. So thank you everybody that posted a message and for your questions. That really helped us out. Unfortunately, we've not been able to work out a music segment because it just wouldn't work out, to be honest with you.
The episode ran really long anyway, so I think we're fine.
Yeah. That's why I sort of we were fine with the doing more questions, to be honest. Giant Reggie has said, I'll just say I love this community. I'm very proud of what you guys put together so quickly today. Wishing RMC and everyone the very best. Take all the time you need. Good vibes. And I think the prevailing message from today is that really we just wanted to keep the streak going. And I think Nintendo, you said it was maybe yesterday or earlier that you knew or you thought that RMC would probably be worrying about not doing the podcast day, and it would make sense that it would be, because it's just he is the type of person to do that. And because it's been going, like we said, for 15 years and never missed one, I think we just kind of thought, we could put something together quick, even if it's not
just kind of
perfect.
Picking up the slack there. We can't fill his shoes, obviously, but hopefully this helps him not stress out as much because we covered the news, did the podcast things. So hopefully he can just rest and relax, feel better.
Yep.
For sure. And the news was very biased because it was written by me. I mean, I don't really know if you hear about the horses. I will write that review for you though. And considering how much of an impact Dog Island has had on the podcast community, I feel like this horse game is right on the money. I mean, it's like it's got everything. It's got horses. It's got riding the horses. It's got looking at horses.
Possibly Jinx.
It's got
Jinx stuck on the TV.
Possibly.
It's got children playing with the horses. It's got clicks. It's got stickers. What more could you want from a game?
Very good.
I just want to do a shout out to the rest of the GoNintendo news crew who's been, posting things to the site and stuff. And, we've had some small communications with them, as well as I'm forgetting the name of the one who does the drawings.
Crazy Colonel.
Crazy Colonel. They've all kind of come together to kind of support us a little bit, like as much as they can without much, authority in that stead. But just thanks to everybody. Thanks to you guys. Thanks to everybody here to make this happen. It was an all-day event putting it together, and so it was very, the fact that RMC does this every week is very impressive. But hopefully, like Nintendo said, hopefully this lets him relax a little bit more and just know that we're thinking about him, and that him and Mom Brain and everybody, all in our thoughts, and hopefully,
absolutely,
we'll see him again soon.
Yeah. So absolutely massive thank you to everybody who contributed today, especially people who took the time to record a top story or something else. Oh, and we need to remember we've got a rumor as well. We can't forget that at the end.
Yes.
From Giant Reggie. It was really a testament to the kind of community that has been that's grown around the podcast, I would say, really. And it just shows how kind and helpful everyone that is here can be, and it's a reflection of the hosts of the podcast, to be honest with you.
100%.
So big thank you to everyone who sent something in. Thank you to everyone who had left a comment or a question or whatever. Thank you to Nico and Nintendo for joining on the whatever you call it, the Discord call thingy, the stream.
Yeah.
And thank you to Milk and Consoles for handling all of the sort of technical stuff. Yeah. I could have figured it out, but it would have taken me 10 hours longer than it probably would take him. So, yeah.
No problem. All right.
Worst ways to... Oh, yeah, go for it. I was going to say, worst ways to spend your Sunday. This has been great.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I'm going to start the rumor of the week. Here we go.
Hello, everyone. This is Giant Reggie, filling in for Dew Michaels with a rumor for the week. Now, I read this rumor off the Dougal, so it's definitely 100% for sure true. Now, you may have seen in Animal Crossing New Horizons, you can now buy Mario-themed items. Things like question mark blocks, mushroom platforms, flagpoles. There's some really neat stuff there. Now, it may just seem like an innocent way to decorate your island with some cool themed items. But really, the truth underneath it all is Tom Nook saw the success and the upcoming success of the Super Nintendo worlds that are opening by Universal in Japan and eventually in Orlando, Florida. Not to be outdone, and not to miss a chance at making some profit, his idea is villagers buy these items, decorate their villages, and then in the future he can open his own line of Super Nintendo worlds. Nothing gets past Tom Nook. So that's the totally true rumor for the week, and I'm Giant Reggie.
Well, that was quite the rumor. All right. Do you guys, is it time to sign off?
Unless you've got anything else, unless anyone wants to add anything else to the end. Thanks for the very true rumor, Giant Reggie. I can't wait to see Tom Nook gain even more money.
There you go.
But yes, I think we're done.
Were you going to say something, Nico? Or?
No, I was just thanking everybody for these up.
Cool.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks to everybody. I think this was an awesome event that we could all support each other to do this, and just happy to be here.
All right.
Yeah, so we had to keep this streak going, right? So
I got to keep the streak going. Yeah. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time, everybody. Bye, everybody.